Last time on Metanoia Blues. Two pirate airships meet at midnight over open sea. Two ex-lovers clash with spell and sword, both hurt and neither willing to bend first. All eyes are on them, until the storm becomes too strong to ignore. The crews of both ships must struggle to keep aloft as wild magic and chaos motes wreak havoc aboard them. As both airships fight to escape the storm, a terrifying presence makes itself known. An impossibly large being, an elder elemental, is at the heart of the storm, and simply being in its presence is a sign of doom. The conflict pauses as the crews scramble to escape the path of destruction, but is no use. The magical pressure of the storm is too much. The fire elemental powering the storm chaser's engines breaks free of its bindings, and the ship is in free fall. Emma Brightwind tries to soften the landing as best as she can before she's knocked out by the force of the fall. Koulton Brightwind aboard the Kraken Slayer tries to shake free of the grappling chain that would have tied the ships together so that there's a hope of rescue. But the winds are too strong. The Kraken Slayer, repaired just hours ago, is tossed away as it watches its sister ship succumb to the storm. We pick up as Koulton is just barely managed to get the ship under control. I'm going to have him make another piloting check. So.
Let's go! I hope he fails.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
oh my god.
Can we get that on record, please? What did you roll?
You rolled a 16 on a natural 1.
What?
Do we take the natural one into account?
We take the natural one. It's
over-
like,
Yeah.
natural one.
Anything.
Yeah,
Sorry,
which
guys.
which is just like if he had rolled anything but a natural 1, you'd probably be okay.
Oh my god. That's okay. What a lovely first step we've taken. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I feel like this is my
Wow.
fault.
A 12 modifier. A 12 modifier, and that's okay. Don't worry. Go. Yeah, go. Yeah, carry on. Just go.
Don't die.
Lord.
Right back
Sorry,
in it, huh?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Take a breath. Take a breath. This is the equivalent of like you take your first step, like, wow, let's take our first step at the marathon, and you immediately shatter your leg on the first step. That's exact. You're walking upstairs.
Just
and
a whole
the stairs
femur
break on the
shit.
first one. Yeah, explodes.
I think
Shattered.
what I'm going to do,
Okay.
Can somebody roll me a D8?
Can I roll it?
You can roll.
Yes.
Yeah, please do, man.
Thanks.
Don't fail.
Shut.
Feel now. I've turned it back on you.
Ready. I rolled a 3.
Cool.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, it is. So, because here's what happens. I think Willow and Varys also need to make Constitution saving throws, but this is why Koulton fails. Koulton needs to also make a con saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, okay, he succeeds.
Yay. So con save, you say? I'll let
Yes,
Varys roll
please.
first.
Okay.
Is he at disadvantage or anything? I recall he was having
Not
a
for saves.
panic. Oh,
Whoop. I
That was-
did that by mistake. He should take the 18.
okay. Oh, lucky duck.
Yep.
Ready for Sketty. I rolled a nat 20.
God.
Hey, I think for every nat 1
Balance.
Koulton rolls,
Balance.
I roll a nat 20.
And vice
Everything
versa.
is perfect balance.
Yeah. So, the inside of the helm of the Kraken Slayer desynchronizes with the rest of time.
Oh God.
Oh, is that all?
Which is
Oh my
why
gosh. Whoa. Yes, okay, I understand. Carry on.
which is why Koulton, normally an excellent pilot, rolls a nat 1. And the Kraken Slayer is pushed wildly by the winds of the storm as he struggles to get it under control. You can feel, like, even though you've all saved, you can feel that, like, there's a delay between what Koulton is doing to the ship, like how he's steering, and what is happening outside. It feels like the whole world outside has sped up and you are sitting in slow motion. There's a jerk and you can see, like, some random object, like a map or something rolls out of the cabinet, and it falls noticeably slower as you are buffeted and tossed.
Hey, question. I rolled a nat 20.
Yes.
So I'm handling this weird buffering moment fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, bizarrely fine, probably. Can I potentially, in that moment, go and assist with the wheel?
Yes.
Ship's still like 90 degrees.
No.
75.
No. Koulton leveled it
Okay.
out. He did spin
Okay.
us out. We Beybladed into a normal position. And now
Naturally.
we're stuck in glitch zone.
Yep.
We
Ugh.
got, like, video game lag happening, which is
Yep.
great. And I rolled a nat 20 for whatever reason. So I'm going to go and try and hold the wheel in place. What do I have to roll?
Are you taking the wheel or are you actually assisting him? Because those are
assisting.
two different things. Okay. So you
I-
do the help
Whatever
action
side
and
slacking.
you take the help action, and Koulton will have advantage on his next piloting check.
Cool. Hey, how would I look like I'm moving? If the map rolls slower than it should, do I appear strangely in Koulton's peripherals or, like, to Varys? Like, how, like, you know?
I think it's like, because you are also localized in this effect, it's not that you are
Yeah.
moving strangely relative to the others, it's just that you are unaffected by
Yeah.
the delay,
Yeah.
which is wild. You know,
Yeah.
it's like tossing somebody into the deep end and then they, like, do a perfect backstroke out of there, you know?
Yeah. No, that tracks, dare I say.
You are swimming through pudding very smoothly, as if there is no impact, you know?
No pudding at all. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking of, can you also give me a perception check, please?
15?
Okay. As you help Koulton stabilize the wheel, you notice outside, thanks to your strange vision that you're without your glasses, there is a sort of layer or like a wave of dull orangey red energy. Give me another quick Arcana check.
22?
Reminds you of the color of Aerith, the gateway moon.
What month are we in?
Baracus. Just at the start of Baracus.
What does it mean to see Aerith?
It's not that you're seeing Aerith, you're seeing something the color of
That
Aerith.
resembles.
Much like a
Gateway.
similar phenomenon you've witnessed recently.
With ends
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So, Koulton will roll piloting again. Oops. Nope.
Is this his advantage?
Yes. So I'll roll twice. Also, I did my own math wrong.
That's fine. Awesome. Well,
26.
better than a 1.
Sure is. Question. Do you alert Koulton of the weird wave in front of you, or
Is it in front?
it's approaching you guys? Like, or rather, you're approaching it.
I don't know how bullet time are we right now? Well, what is a bullet? How slow is this bullet moving? There's a lot of variable questions in this instance.
You would be able to avoid it if you choose to.
I mean, if he's looking forward, does he not see it as well? Oh, right.
No.
I know what it is. Sorry, I forgot. Yes. I don't know that I will say it so much as when I'm holding the wheel, I am positioning like we have to dodge something. Like, I'm imagining the kind of placement on the wheel where it's clear that, well, not necessarily only the wheel. I'm imagining other little gears and levers and such that are used to like change the, what am I trying to say, the verticality of the ship. And that Willow is adjusting those. In Koulton's Nat 1, and I feel like that's what's provided the Nat 20 assist, is like, I have basically begun adjusting the gears on the car, so to speak. Yeah, so
Yeah.
can he infer, or do I need to say it? Because I do think that Willow's kind of Willow's operating a bit on autopilot. Very appropriate. Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to know if you said anything.
Don't think so. I think I've just appeared
All right.
and appeared at the wheel with intent to steer it and offer assistance. And I mean, it works. Well,
It does.
We haven't passed it yet, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Just asking. All right. So, with your assistance, Koulton regains control of the ship. As the glitch passes, you are able to ride over the encroaching wave of magical energy. It just catches the tail of the ship. And thanks to your co-piloting, basically, Koulton is able to safely lower the ship down towards the ocean, so you're just floating above the waves of the sea, where you're still under heavy rain and winds, but the magical effects are much less intense. And he calls out to you, "Where's my sister gone?"
I am right beside him, mind you.
I know you are, but still. It's the feeling of intense danger is the I need to shout above the noise.
I see. Oh right, we're still in the tumult of weather.
You're out of the worst of it by far. You're no longer making terrifying saving throws against the sky fish.
Right, yeah.
But the storm chaser has disappeared and you don't know where it is.
Okay. And we're sort of arms crossed, applesauce, around this wheel, I'm assuming. That's how I've imagined
a little
it
bit.
anyway.
A little bit, yeah.
If he's holding 10 and, what is it, 10 and 2? I'm holding 12 and 9, you know?
Yeah.
That's the gesture. That's the proximity I'm imagining at the moment. Anyway. Willow doesn't respond.
All right. All right. Koulton is going to try and make a perception check himself.
Nice.
Is it enough?
That's a 20.
Yeah. I think he takes a reading of the like dials and meters of like what the external wind speed and stuff is, and wheels the ship around and starts heading northwest in like wide arcs, trying to search for where the storm chaser is.
If he's turning, I may roll a wisdom save.
Yep.
Are we stable?
You are stable now.
Not him and I. The ship is stable.
The ship is stable. I was not talking about whatever's happening
Me as a
between the two
person,
of you.
or-
No. Absolutely not. Not stable there, but like...
Okay. We're rolling a wisdom save. Yeah, I got an 11. I think once he's got enough, like, control over the ship again, which is pretty much as soon as we, like, breached the Aerith wave, I think Willow's gonna peel away. So he does probably ask that question as Willow is, like, backing off. 11's not great for a wisdom save. Usually we set the bar around 12, 13, I think.
Yes.
12 to 14. Yeah, that's the failed wisdom save.
Yeah.
Willow's stuck in an spiral. They are sort of uselessly just kind of standing there looking at the window at the back of the ship. And I think I don't even know if they've backed it up with any knowledge at the moment, but their thought is immediately Koulton doing laps to search for the storm chaser is futile. It's gone.
And yet, that is what he does.
Yeah.
As the storm dies down, Koulton continues his search, steering the ship in widening circles. I'm gonna roll a little wisdom savey throw for Varys.
Okay. 18 is
18.
good.
Yes, it is good. I think, like, Varys, you can see him holding on to Fish Dog with two hands, like, close to his chest and, like, breathing hard but deliberately, like the sort of somebody trying to calm down after a bout of, like, really high emotion. He's okay. If for a given value of okay. I think as Koulton is doing his laps, I think this is like the third or fourth lap that he's like doing in an arc. He's checking the dials and meters, finds something built into the side of the wheel, and pulls out a like modified sending stone on a speaker and talks into it. Says, "Kraken Slayer coming in, Storm Chaser, what is your position? Come in." There's no response. What are you doing, Willow?
Willow's okay, looking. They're facing the back window. They're not looking anywhere at all. I think that sort of dark stretch of the top of the ocean and the sort of emptiness of the sky is too much to look at. So they've sort of zoned. But I do think that like Koulton's voice snaps them out of it a little, but only to draw their attention back to the fact that N does have access to the fast scribe spell, yes?
Yes.
And if N were okay, Willow would have received a message.
Mm-hmm.
It's too soon to say, of course. And of course, this leads Willow back to the thought of if the ship. Willow's thought processes are like sentences with big sections redacted.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very slow moving set of thought processes
Mm-hmm.
that just kind of like, but if then you wouldn't be able to, because of the impact on under such conditions, unable to write in the book. Not to mention natural conditions. These are worse than natural conditions. These are planar anomalies.
Supernatural conditions,
Yes.
if you will.
It's very supernatural conditions, overlapping manifest zones. This is what Willow's thinking. I know that Fast Scribe has a quality that is interplanar, right?
It certainly is. Actually, make an Arcana check. I don't know if we've ever discussed that nature.
Arcana check. Natural 20.
Yes.
So 28.
The Far Scribe ability, as N calls it, seems to be a modified version of the Sending spell, which does have a chance of contacting people across planes.
Yeah.
There is, however, always the possibility of interference.
Okay. That's possible because it doesn't seem like we just came out of one planar anomaly. It seems like we came out of multiple. So the glow of Aerith, we got the wild magic from Kithri, I believe, and then the elemental from Lamania, all converging in one very unideal situation. And then the big fish that I don't really have a name for at the moment, unless I can roll something about the big fish, but that's not really the point.
I think because you rolled a nat 1 on it, you don't get to roll again about it until you have access
Awesome.
to, like, research material.
Excellent. So just big fish, which I can't place, which I think having even just one, granted two, because the big unanswered question at the moment is where is the storm chaser, but the lesser question that could lead me to a conclusion in this instance is what was the big fish and how did that impact what's happening now? Because if N has access to interplanar communications and it hasn't contacted me yet, that's not ideal. That's not ideal.
No.
Willow is standing like perfectly still. Way too perfectly still. It sort of seems like they're still in the slow lag time from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But at least Koulton talking kind of got their brain whirring along that particular avenue.
Speaking of Koulton talking, I think he,
Ugh.
like, makes a sharp sound of, like, "Oi!"
Willow does jump at that
As does
and look over
Varys.
the shoulder at him. Okay.
Either you fucking listening to me. Did anybody see where the storm chaser went?
His tone, at the very least, his tone jostles a reflex out of Willow. It fell.
Where?
Down.
I don't have fucking time for your bullshit right now. If it hadn't been for you, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh,
So fucking help me.
you think if I knew where it was, you wouldn't already be heading there at the moment? Obviously, and if it wasn't for me, no one asked you to launch at the Kraken Slayer.
Koulton, like, rolls his eyes really irritably and, like, does a, like, sharp turn of the ship. Like, the aggressive way of somebody driving that, like turns the wheel too hard.
Yeah, do I have to roll the...
Yeah, I'm
Dex.
gonna ask you and Varys to roll Dex saving throws.
Oh, Varys.
Varys cracks his knees.
Oh no! Dex save?
Yes, please.
Nat 20.
Oh my god.
My god, that's 3. Nat 20.
What the fuck?
You gotta be winning in some way.
No, hey, when
been
has
like
Willow been the
20
most
minutes.
proficient?
3 nat
When
20s.
is Willow always the most proficient?
Crisis.
Under the
When
worst of
things are at their
circumstances.
absolute worst. Yes. Willow like moves with the ship, but they're easy they know it just jerked. They see Varys like slide or whatever happens, he hits the wall. They will again sharply look to Koulton. Watch it.
I think you hear like a petty little "watch it" under his breath.
Oh! Oh my god. No, I'm not in the mood. Whatever. I'm gonna go help Varys to. I'm gonna go to Varys. Oh. I'm gonna go to Varys because the alternative is punching Koulton in the back of the head, and there's nothing to be gained. Well, no, there's nothing to be gained. I'm gonna go to Varys. Can I use my nat 20 to help me actually get him to his feet?
Yes. Yeah, you're able to help Varys up, and he says, "That's silly. Thank you."
What's Varys's condition looking like? I look at what's.
A bit pale, bit sweaty, stressed, but otherwise unharmed. Maybe bruised his knees a bit.
His knees. His poor knees. Okay. I have no spells, no potions. Does Varys have a potion?
I believe he has one on him, but he didn't really get damaged, so he's not in need of a healing potion necessarily.
All psychological, I see.
Yes. He's still holding on to Fish Dog, which is doing its calming beeping. But I think Varys says to you, "Thought I heard the whispers of the dead for a second there. You alright?"
Willow cannot bring themselves to say yes, but they do give him a look that kind of says like, "I'm upright." Wouldn't say all right. I am standing. Willow will pat Fish Dog in that way, like, "Yep, keep that. That's good to have."
Varys is going to make an insight check on you. You can do
Oh
that.
wow, that's okay. Nice.
4! He can't see shit! You're fine. A little bit roughed up from your fight, but, like, you seem to be operating just fine. He hasn't seen you in as high-stress situations as this.
Yeah. 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 Now that Varys is upright, I do think that Willow, like, they shoot a look over their shoulder at Koulton. Is he just driving?
You just barely catch him look away.
Ah, yes. Whatever, Willow also looks away. Willow will focus on Varys. I don't know what to tell him though, so I'm just kind of, there's nothing really to tell him to do either. Well, I guess he could go,
You could check on the others below decks.
He
Do
could.
damage assessment.
I think, to be fair, Willow's not got solutions at the moment. They've just got like this bad situation, and optically they are managing like somebody who is under control. Yeah, and that's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, they seem like they should be issuing some kind of instruction. I guess I've been rolling pretty high. I could roll an intelligence check or something to see if I know.
What do you want to achieve? What does Mim want Willow to be able to achieve?
Anything, like any kind of avenue for Varys. Okay, usually if Willow was in their right mind, they'd check on him and they'd give him a task, or they'd assess whether he's willing or like able to fulfill a task. or if he just needs to sit, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think Varys speaks up of like, oh, what happened to your glasses?
Willow sort of reaches up and touches their face like they forgot they weren't wearing them. But that would make sense why everything looks and feels horrible. Other than the obvious reasons, the additional reasons of just like, oh yeah.
Your chronic illness.
Yeah. Willow kind of, like, it kind of reminds them too that like perhaps part of the reason why they're not pulling any thoughts is also because they have this unbearable headache that they're just kind of used to being there. They sort of say, oh, I must have dropped it. As they say, must have dropped it. There is a little, like, sideways glance of like, oh yeah, Koulton ripped them off and threw them on the deck. The deck that turned 80 degrees vertical. Well, vertical is not bad. It might still be on deck. Willow thinks.
Yeah.
Then again, he did also spin the Kraken Slayer shortly after, so it's probably flown off. Bloody idiot. Yeah, Willow will correct themselves. Somewhere on deck, maybe, or otherwise in the ocean. In an ocean. And that reminds them straight again to the fall of the Storm Chaser, and they zone out again.
Varys, after a beat, says, should I go look for them?
What's the weather outside like?
Rainy. Windy. Still storming, but, like, less severe. You're out of the worst of it. It's certainly, like... It's not great. You'll get soaked to the fucking bone, if you go outside. But, you know... probably won't be struck by lightning anymore.
Okay, wait, no. If there's any possibility of being struck by lightning, then no.
You won't be struck by lightning, no.
If it's the usual horrendous weather conditions. I think there's a little voice in the back of Willow's head that's saying, get Varys out of here. Not because they want to be left alone with Koulton, but just because, like, for example, Varys... There is nothing to be gained from Varys being here. Don't necessarily know if I want him sliding around the front of the deck. You know what? Willow's response would be, you rest, I'll look.
Varys nods and says, I'll head downstairs then. Check on the others.
Willow nods. Without a backwards glance, they're going to march past Koulton like they're going to leave.
I think you hear a little hiss under his breath. It says, of course you have time to help everybody else.
Cool. Ignoring that, I'll keep walking.
You head out.
Walk off the front of the fucking boat. Pardon? Anyway, carry on.
You head out. Roll me a D100.
Oh, great. I love those odds. I rolled a 40.
You cannot find your glasses anywhere.
Great. Great. I'm in the rain. I feel like shit. I am saving off psychic damage with 3 home runs, by the way. 3 nat 20s to stave off this mental psychic damage. While doing the... Jeepers, I can't find my glasses in the rain on the Kraken Slayer. It's okay. No, is it okay?
That's up to you.
I am searching every freaking inch of this ship because not only is everything awful, I can't function without those. Also, to everyone else we've gotten out of the storm, to me, every time I look around, it still feels like we're in there because of my vision problems. I need those glasses. Now.
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure. Is somebody else jerking the ship again?
No?
I am legally not allowed to slip. Not while he's watching. I got a 14.
I'm gonna say you were staving off the headache. You feel like you have maybe a few hours more in you before you start taking points of exhaustion from the interference in your vision.
Okay. Also, now that I'm out on deck, I assume that I'm seeing like the remnants of the fight that we just had. That big lightning strike that hit us. Was that just
Yep.
poor luck? Was like, sorry, not luck. Was that just? Was that the elemental? Was that the fish?
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah, I think since I can't find my glasses, I'm gonna start doing work. So. 25.
Oh, Jesus. Truly
Everyone's
Truly
waiting for the
insane.
nat one.
I know.
It's gonna be
Um,
awful.
Yeah. So there is a 5-foot radius, like, scar on the deck of the Kraken Slayer where that lightning bolt struck. Insanely powerful. Like, truly, you would think this is natural lightning.
But it's
that
not.
hit the ship, but it's not. There is powerful evocation magic in it.
Oh.
Like, it reminds you of the sort of magical sort of resonance or residue of elementals.
Is this common to find during an elemental storm for me, or no? Because that's like natural adjacent. Oh wait, no, yeah, but they're still creatures.
I mean, you've seen elemental lightning storms, but this is sort of magnitudes bigger.
So that's unnatural even for the expected storm activity in the area, right?
Yeah, this is like, I would compare this to, like, even in an area prone to flooding, this is like 100-year flood. This is like the maximum sort of level of power that you could ever expect.
All of this is just dragging me back to the thought of, like, where is the storm chaser? Because we got away from that storm. We vacated inelegantly, mind you. But we did get out of the storm, right? Presumably, whatever did this to the ship might still be affecting the storm chaser crew. Plus the crew of the ephemeral chaos.
You simply have no way of knowing.
Look, I'm in the rain, checking out the damage on this ship that is indicative of a situation that my crew are still in. Do I need to roll a wisdom save to check if I can make a check, or do I just make the check? Because I feel like there are two contending issues here, which is like the gotta get this done, gotta figure out how to fix it, versus the oh no, everything I've ever been afraid of in my life ever.
I think in this moment, because you were sort of like working, you can make the check. As time goes on, you will need to roll wisdom saving throws.
Okay, so what's the check of gun? What's the check for what direction are they in? Wait, but it's planar.
I think at this point it would be a survival or nature check.
Okay. We'll go survival, because I'm feeling very end of my rope here.
What the f-
What is happening on Roll20 right now?
Another natural
nat
20.
Is that my fourth nat 20 since the start of session?
Yes.
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 Wait,
I'm
one,
gonna
two...
keep a tally. I'm gonna start keeping a tally now.
Yep, 4 nat 20s from Willow so far. What the
Okay.
fuck?
Hey, look! Pun intended. I'm in my element.
Yeah.
Yay!
If I get to cross out this strike, like tally markers, I'm
Yeah.
gonna scream.
Yeah,
Like putting the
yeah.
cross to make it a 5. I will
Yeah, yeah,
shout.
yeah. No, but hey, they did call me the storm chaser. What are we doing in this moment? But instinctively chasing the storm chaser.
Storm chasing the storm chaser, even.
Storm chasing the
The storm
chaser.
chaser is storm chasing the storm chaser.
Drop that YouTube title, fellas.
How much storm could a storm chaser chase if a storm chaser could chase storms?
A bit long, but I can make it work.
How much storm chaser chase? Storm chaser.
That shit. You guys are pathetic. I love you guys.
Get fucked. I'm
So,
That get fucked was
Let's-
Koulton voice, by the way. It just happened to align with what you were saying.
so, on a nat 20 survival, first thing you need to do is calibrate. Where are you guys? You don't
Oh,
know.
so
You've
true.
been blown off course hard by the storm.
Through time space, I think, briefly.
Yep, a little bit. So, you need to figure out where you were, how fast the wind was blowing, and like in what pattern it was, and approximately at what time the storm chaser fell in what direction. And you should be able to calculate roughly the location on the map where you can do a more effective search.
Okay,
So-
you know what? Because I think it helps being out here. And I think if Koulton's watching from the window, he sees like Willow's doing their rounds around the ship. And then they just kind of sit there. I think they're gonna do their maths outside.
Roll another constitution check for me, please.
Cool. Constitution. Beg your pardon. Constitution check or Constitution save?
I think this is a check. This is an active check you're making.
7.
Ooh, you're very fucking cold right now.
Can I put on my jacket?
I think even with the jacket, you're like starting to shiver.
That's annoying.
Like you're completely soaked wet through the rain and like injured. You're shivering. And cold and uncomfortable, and you have a massive headache from eye strain, so...
So now I have the option of either going downstairs and dealing with whatever's happened down there, which could be horrendously wrong, or I could go back to the wheelhouse with... Wait, where's my workshop? I can go to my workshop. No one should be in there. Right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Hopefully. I just need somewhere to be alone and think. For a bit.
Alright. Okay.
Cool.
You head inside, start running calculations. Do you remember the readings off the helm? Or are you guesstimating?
How about I leave it blank for now while I figure out the rest of the equation that needs to be figured out, and then I can go fill in the blanks as my last resort at the very end.
Okay.
Thanks.
Will you give me an intelligence check, please?
Yes, I will, Zeke.
I think at advantage because you did roll nat 20 on survival.
Okay. Where am I? Wow, 6 for the first one. But let's give that... Oh my gosh. I lost it again. Oh, there it is. Well, 18.
18 better. Okay. Yes, you are able to competently write down your equations and leave the variables blank to be filled in when you feel ready to collect that data.
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it.
There is a very long time before you will hear any sign of the storm chaser. How many hours before you start buckling?
Beg your pardon? Hours? I didn't even think I was going to last that long. I think... How long does it take me to do the equations?
I'm gonna say, like, 30 minutes.
I don't think I'm going to go for more than an hour.
Okay.
I think the momentum of finishing up the equations. Zeke just struck the fear of, like, the universe into my chest by starting the sentence like that, by the way. You're going to hear for them for hours. How many hours until you go? By the way, you wouldn't hear the storm chaser from this time. Huh? Anyway, okay. I think at the, like, no, you know what? Pretty much as soon as I finish the equations. As soon as I've checked them and they're correct, and just need the inputs, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Will I go? Do I need to check this? No, I'll go. Look, we need to find the storm chaser. I rolled 4 nat 20s. My survival check says we need to check where the storm chaser is, because whatever's happened to our ship, even briefly, is at risk of happening to theirs exponentially worse the longer we keep them waiting. So
All right.
let's go sort that out. If it takes me 30 minutes to do the equations, at the 31st minute, I walk back into the wheelhouse.
Okay.
And I'm not going to talk to him, though, or even look at him. I'm just going straight to the dials. Back to writing, and at the earliest, we'll go back to, like, the window at the back of the wheelhouse to finish off my...
He definitely does comment on your appearance, like, your reappearing in the wheelhouse.
Don't know if I hear him, but what does he say? Was it just some catty comment that...
It is some catty comment.
Okay, cool. Don't worry. I could put that together. I feel like I preemptively switched that off. Willow might have put their bandana on just to kind of keep their hair from dripping all over their face as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Their arms are back in their sleeves. Yeah, and they're just finishing off.
So I'm gonna quickly drag you to
Hell?
I'm gonna say the
Aren't you already there, Willow?
map.
Oh, as an aside, I think if Willow caps off the equations, I'm picking up that map that dropped earlier and bringing it over to, like, I imagine there to be like a flat surface where the map usually is mounted for the captain to look at. Yeah. Spreading it out like there and beginning to mark up in accordance with my work.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to use these crossed sabers as an icon for the Kraken Slayer at the moment. That feels appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
This is where your sort of last recorded location here.
Mm.
You are now somewhere over here.
Whoa! Okay. What's this little island here?
That I believe is Stone Spur. So you're
Nothing
like
overly
slightly
exciting
off the
happening there?
northeastern coast of Stone Spur. Pardon?
Nothing exciting around here.
I can't remember which principality
It falls
that
under.
is.
No one important, I take it.
Yeah, no, they're mostly do like mining trade stuff.
With down more holes, I'm
with-
assuming.
Not just the Moorholds, with like Khorvaire at large, like I believe specifically House Thrashk, because there's some like Eberron dragon shards found there, like
Yeah.
dragon shard mines.
Meals. Okay.
And so this was your last known location.
Mhm.
When you first encountered the storm, you've been
Hmm.
blown this far.
Mm-hmm.
And the winds were blowing in this direction.
Well, not where we were.
Nope. So,
To
it
maybe they were.
is safe to assume that there are anywhere.
Oh, just anywhere within,
within this 1,000-mile radius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Bermuda Triangle just dropped.
Oh no, that's cold. We're in the cold place.
Yeah, you're
I
about
love it
to.
here, Luca.
What, dead?
No, I was there before. I would recognize it. We're in somewhere else now.
Yeah, you're somewhere in this sort of area.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Cool,
with more calculations, you will probably able to narrow that down.
That's fine. I think just triangulating or oblongating that is more than enough for the condition I'm in. Wordlessly, Willow's going to draw up the chart, place it in front of Koulton, and then point at the section where you can expect to find the Storm Chaser.
Koulton gives it a long, hard look. He gives a long, hard look at you. He's going to do a little insight check. 18.
Willow is... I mean, I'm not trying to deceive him. I don't think I'm trying to do anything. I'll roll persuasion, I guess, just passively.
Yeah.
10. Yeah, mid.
that's-
That's what I mean. There's no real effort going in or out.
Yeah.
Of the...
That's good to know. I think you hear him
Will-
do like a heavy, like, nose exhale of like, right, and starts turning the ship.
What, was he heading in the opposite direction?
No, but he's like now doing a bigger sort of sweep,
Yeah.
and he's picking a specific direction rather than going in circles.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I think as soon as Willow lays it out, they're just going to return to sort of standing at the opposite, as far away from him as possible on the ship. So probably again at that window. Just to sort of do any other, to start on the next bout of like calculations. However, I will say at that time, it only makes sense to me that Willow's starting to flag.
Yeah.
So I feel like, because, you know, it's like that thing, over the next few hours, you're going to get more exhausted, but then Willow's like, what if I dial up all of my capacity to turbo mode so I can do calculations in the dark without my glasses? In the cold.
Doing maths with
While
your eyes shut.
ignoring-
At least, I mean,
Yeah.
at least while you're in here, I'd like you to roll another Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, we'll see how this ages. Yeah! 7.
Okay, so I think like you are shivering hard to the point where your like teeth are starting to chatter.
Yeah.
I'd
like to hide that. Can I roll a deception check as well, just to see how well I hide it?
Sure.
Oh no. If I hear myself chattering, that's crazy. That's actually mental.
Fifth nat 20
did
for
it!
19.
We did it!
That's wild. What's up? I rolled a nat 20 to lie about being okay.
Yeah, that tracks.
You know, that's very Willow of you.
Yeah. What happens, I feel like Willow feels themselves being cold, feels their body like shutting down in that way you do when you're cold, and they're like, no, not where he can hear it, not right now.
Cool. I would like you
I
to
do
take
not-
a point of exhaustion officially.
Fuck. On a nat 20, Zeke! In front of my tally! In front of this picket fence. Okay.
I mean, you don't show it.
So true. Priorities. Alright, 1 point of exhaustion it is. It is exhausting to live your life, Willow Jenkins. But they look... So previously, with rolling a 7 on a Constitution save, I'm imagining like wet dog energy in the rain, shivering, soggy Like, they've probably dried off a little bit, but, you know, their bandana's on, but it's not doing much. But now, because of their nat 20, whittled down to a 19, but still a nat 20, they just kind of look cool and aloof.
Jaw so clenched.
Yeah. Like, arms folded, leaned against the back window, looking very okay about everything, which is honestly, like, in meta, not the smartest thing to look like in this situation. Yeah, anyway, 1 point of exhaustion it is, but I'm looking cool, so there's that.
Yep.
5 nat 20s, everybody.
5 nat 20s. To be so okay.
Just,
be
that's
so
a
okay.
terrifying omen of how badly we're gonna do it. And
It's
Hey, you guys
fine.
might be dead.
Yeah, I don't need to roll dice if I'm dead.
that's true. But we've died before, you and I. We got better. It's fine.
I'm gonna have Koulton roll a constitution check to basically continue to stay awake and alert. 11.
Mid. But I do think that's why I'm here as well. Usually, you know, like, this is I don't think I'm overly thinking about it, but almost like instinctively, it makes sense to be here in this condition because the captain shouldn't be captaining on his own at this time. Yeah? There's not even a fish dog here to kind of monitor the situation. So I was thinking before, why is Willow like staunchly even standing here? Leave, go back to your workshop. But I do think like in order to see this enacted, Willow can't just drop off the map and leave. They have to make sure that it's followed. There's a kind of passive wisdom, like ship wisdom.
It is a smart thing to have somebody to back up the captain, back up whoever is at the helm.
Yeah.
Koulton is starting to flag, just like energy-wise. He's getting tired, but he remains stubbornly focused. And there's just a heavy, heavy silence between the two of you. And it will stay that way for a long time. Shall we cut over to the others?
I don't know, Zeke, are we even alive?
Are there
Let's
others to
find
cut
out.
too?
Yeah.
We see the foundering storm chaser, flightless and floating in a deep sea fog. She is not looking well. The storm has taken a bitter toll on her. Her hull is scarred by magic. Her elemental ring is extinguished. Her crew incapacitated. She lists in the water, unfamiliar waves lapping against her hull. A downed bird, now lost at sea. The silence aboard her is unnatural, haunting. It seems there is not a soul to take heed of her plight, within or without. All aboard have been silenced, and the storm chaser herself has no voice to cry out from the depths of the fog. Time moves on, and slowly the fog begins to lift. A wan northern sun peeks from behind the bank of clouds. There is a lurch aboard the storm chaser as something strikes through the hull and then pulls. Iron clangs as an enormous chain reels the downed airship closer and closer towards the shadow of a fortress built into a spire of stone. And crawling along the links of the chain like ants, skeletons, dozens of them. Rusted blades clenched between their teeth, seawater dripping from their eye sockets. The drowned dead begin to swarm. And
Yes.
you wake up with a taste of health potion on your tongue. Reduce your HP to 1 and roll 2d4 plus 2.
Cool. All right. Add 2 to that. So that's a grand total of 5.
Oh, you have 6 hit points at the moment.
Fantastic.
As you wake up to the taste of health potion and Gardenia's mask looming over you. She says, "Wake up. We've got visitors."
Oh, God. Sirens. What the fuck?
The ship lurches again as
and like grabs onto Gardenia.
a second harpoon strikes the hull of the storm chaser, and then a third. Gardenia is going to cast Pass Without Trace on the two of you.
Fuck.
I would like you both to make a stealth check, plus 10.
Oh God!
Neat. Okay.
Plus 10!
It's an 18.
Plus 10. You rolled an 8.
I rolled an 8, but it's plus 10, so
29.
it's 18.
Yep.
Oh,
Gardenia
man.
rolled 29.
I just woke up, okay?
You just woke up.
That's impressive.
Yep.
And
So,
wakes up. Ah, fuck! And immediately is made like completely stealthy. Okay. Shh, I'm not here.
the two of you sort of scuttle into the shadows, Gardenia leading you deeper into the quiet, hidden places in the within the storm chaser. I'd like you to give me a perception check as well.
Sure thing.
Nice.
13.
You can hear the marching of bony feet on the deck.
Does this remind me of anything?
It sure does. It
Good.
sure does remind you of a very specific nightmare.
Mm-hmm. And reality.
And reality, a specific period of nightmares you had after an incident in your childhood. Or, well, youth, I should say. As you and Gardenia hide away. Luca! It has been about, let's say, 6 to 7 hours since you were
Just to
last
confirm,
here.
we are on the 3rd of Baracus now. It is fully
Yes,
the
it
next
is.
day.
It is fully the next day. Your hair has started growing back, which is the only silver lining, as you are
Oh, good.
woken to the sound of rattling bones as you are roughly hoisted from the deck.
Oh, good.
So you have a bit of hair back. You have 1 hit point. You have not had a long rest.
Oh, good. Good. Tiny singular hit point. Okay.
Emma and Orkhan are opposite you, battered and barely conscious, and being restrained by skeletal warriors.
Good. Are they...
You are disarmed. No
oh,
sword, no
no.
shield.
Where is my sword? Where is it? Do I see it?
It's being taken away,
Oh.
being gathered up by a skeleton.
Okay. I should make a decision right here. Am I touching the other two at all?
Nope.
Like, are we bundled up? Oh, cool. Have I been separated?
Yes. You've all
Oh.
been basically restrained by groups of skeletons. At least
Huh.
2 per person.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Emma is putting up a bit of resistance, but she's also seeing the situation that you guys are in as the skeletons tie your wrists and march you down to the main deck along with the rest of the crew.
Okay, dokie. Can I take stock? Is it just skeletons?
Make a perception check.
If I'm alive in my brain. 10.
10. So you are feeling dazed and disoriented. You hurt everywhere. You are very aware of the 1 hit point you have. You feel very bruised. And you feel like you're just a little bit too slow on the uptake to take any tactical advantage, but this also feels like a shit situation. You see a pale-skinned, shaven-headed human man, stands in the middle, holding court over the dead soldiers. He's wearing weathered armor and a sealskin cloak against the chill of the air, and you can see the edge of thick black tattoos up the side of his neck and on his wrists.
Do I recognize anything about him, or
Try making a history check.
my forte?
Yeah, you're 14.
16?
Looks like Karnathi military issue equipment, at least the armor, but like old, like
Oh no.
30 years old maybe issue equipment. Like at least a generation old equipment.
Does he look old?
No, he looks about your age, maybe a little bit younger. You also, on your 10 perception check, have a look over the crew. You cannot see N anywhere.
Well, that's not surprising. Honestly.
The pale-skinned man says, "What have we here? A bunch of pirates blown far from home, and on an elemental vessel, no less. You'll make a fine ransom for Lyrander to collect." There's protests from the round crew, and Emma shoots a sharp look around. This is tactically a terrible situation to start a fight in.
Okay. Does it seem like we're being led away from this man, or is he like
He's
lording
holding
over
court.
us now? He's
Lording over you for now.
Okay.
You're all gathered on the deck.
Luca makes a point to step away from the Storm Chaser crew as much as he can.
Okay. Emma squints at you a little bit. There's a general consensus of sort of under breath murmurs.
I know
for
that
the crew to wait, but what
I
are you
don't
doing?
like Lyrander. I know that much. I know that Willow will kill me if that happens, I think. Right? I remember that, right? Willow doesn't like Lyrander.
You should, yes.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, okay.
Pretty pivotal to a lot of the stuff going on right now.
I just jump out you have to help me. They've taken me prisoner.
Make a deception check.
I mean, I'm not fully deceiving him.
You're lying.
They did take me prisoner.
They
15.
started. Okay.
They just started. Everyone in the background, not really.
It's a nat
That's
one,
a nat
from
one
our enemy here.
From our, yeah.
From our
No, he's
lovely,
gonna be my
pale, bald
friend.
fellow.
Enemies to friends. Whatever the fuck.
On a nat one, maybe. God.
Luca rolled a 15 against.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I rolled a 15 versus his nat 1. So, methinks me win.
You do win, but he looks at you. Oh, aren't you unlucky? So he believes you.
Congratulations.
Step one of playing the
Yeah, yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I see.
Have any... Curious. Oh my god. Can I roll for Luca to have a brain blast?
What's the blast?
Sarah thinks of something. I want to know if Luca can think of something, basically.
What's Sarah thinking?
Sarah wants to know if Luca's divine sense pings anything about this guy.
It wouldn't, because he's human.
He is fully human?
Yeah.
Okay.
The undead all register,
Okay.
and he's clearly associated with them as their commander.
Yeah, but undead can lead undead. That's fine. We've done that before. We have the power. Okay. What?
We?
Leave me alone.
You're not affiliating with the Storm Chaser, but you want to say okay. Anyway, whatever. I'm not here. Don't worry.
I meant Karnath has the power to have their undead be controlled by other undead. I'm not affiliated with you people. I'm not a pirate.
Okay.
As you are having this like sort of little revelation, let me describe what's happening.
Yes, please do.
So, the Storm Chaser is being dragged by massive iron chains towards a grim fortress of stone, looming like a gargoyle from its perch upon the steep slopes of a sea stack. Tall pillars extend down into the water, attached to floating piers that extend like clawing fingers. Precarious gantries zigzag across the weathered edifice, and here and there a covered platform that holds the blackened gaze of cannons. At a sharp whistle from the shaven-headed young man, the skeletons haul up a gangplank, and you begin to be marched towards the fortress, single file. You can keep trying to make persuasion checks, but it looks like he doesn't give a shit.
What if N casted message to try and contact Luca in this moment?
They can.
I think they will. They're hiding in the shadows with Gardenia, but they want to know if Luca is, alive.
Oh, that would be nice. I would like to know if you're alive.
So this is happening while you are you are pulling up. There's a gangplank and the crew is starting to be led off the ship. I think the leader is at the front.
Yes. And Luca, you suddenly hear Marco.
Hot potato!
Where are you?
I'm on the deck. There are skeletons. And a big stone fortress. Where are you? Are you okay? Have you heard from Willow?
No. I haven't contacted Willow yet. A little busy at the moment, I think.
Have you been captured?
Have you?
Yes. I have hair.
Congratulations.
So I think we're gonna be okay.
How many are there? Not hair.
How many skeletons?
Not hair skeletons.
You're starting to be led up, and you see just there's a full-on army here. At least, oh gosh, so there's at least 2 per crew, which means that there are double 13 plus another 4, so 26, 30. At least 30 skeletons, plus the guy leading you. And that's just the ones escorting you up. You can also see as you are starting to be led, into the fortress and, uphill, there's, squadrons more.
Okay, cool. Luca will stay back an army, basically.
Oh, is that all?
It's okay. We can do this. We need to get the ship back or Willow will kill us.
It's gonna be a bit difficult considering the ring is missing.
We can... Huh.
You are being marched uphill towards the fortress.
Marched. I thought you said mulched. Okay.
No.
The decomposition has started.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It is an arduous hike on steep steps, and the sea wind cuts cold across your face. Eventually, you are brought inside to a cavernous hole with a large circular elevator platform, and you finally meet another living soul. Standing in the foyer is a plain-looking elven woman in an austere black dress with a dingy white apron and the silver chatelaine at her waist. In her hands, she carries a bone staff that is blackened at the top. "Young master, what have you there?" she asks. The young man replies, "Prisoners, Agatha! These are enemies of our allies. Alert my father. He'll want to see this. Just as the woman is about to assent, another voice calls from above. There's no need. Looking down from the arch of the mezzanine is an elderly man in austere, black military-style robes and a thick woolen cape, held in place by a medallion featuring the symbol of the emerald claw.
Boy.
I know your ship, the old man says. I do not know what twist of fate brought it to my fortress, but I have no qualms foisting you off to Khorvaire and his scavengers.
Ew.
The young man calls up, What shall we do with them, father? The old man waves his hand dismissively. We have cells enough to hold miscreants. If they cause trouble, execute them and add them to the ranks. With that grim statement, he departs into the upper floors of the fortress.
Luca shouts, Ugh. You will not execute another servant of Lady Ilmarrow.
Make a persuasion check. Actually, make a deception check.
Deception.
No disgrace.
22.
22. Luca. Okay. Okay, intellectual king, dare I say.
Gonna shoot her. Ah!
8. Insight. Disgrace.
The Castellan stops, looks down at you.
Luca is doing his best to give him a, cold expression in return. Waiting for a response, like he expects to be respected in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Tell me your name.
I think it rude to ask for something you've not given yourself.
You are in my fortress as host. Tell me your name, and I will grant you the same honor.
Luca bows his head. My name is Luca Falconterm.
He's gonna do a little history check.
18.
I'm aware of that house, but I had not been aware that there were any of our member with that name. I am Castellan Wolfram Grimwald III.
Oh, how do I play this? Luca makes a face like, yeah, should I try? Do I know this name at all?
The name,
You may as well.
The voice of Willow Jenkins bursts in behind your mind. Maybe make a history roll.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. That's a 6.
6!
That's
Carry on.
yeah, nothing.
Willow walks away, throws their hands up, and whatever, it's fine.
I did
I don't know what that
No.
means.
You know what? I'm gonna channel N in this moment, and Luca gives a face of stun for a moment, and then bows his head even deeper, and says, "I've heard tales of such an illustrious name, but to think I would meet you in person, how fortuitous for me, me,
For me.
for me."
Make another deception check.
Oh come on, okay.
You're
fine.
lying.
That is a 22.
Oh, my God. Get cheated on.
Oh!
Damn.
Say it. Say what was it? What was it?
It was a 17 against a 22.
Catching up.
Luca is still winning at the deception game.
Nice.
I see at least you know to respect your betters. He turns to what must clearly be his son and says, Escort Sir Falconterm to the barracks.
Okay, that's a start.
The rest.
Okay, cool.
To the dungeons.
I glance and give Emma a look, and I hope she understands what I mean.
Oh!
Oh!
Make a sleight of hand check to secretly convey either sleight of hand or stealth to secretly convey that like you're trying to play deception.
I'm gonna go with stealth. Sleight of hand feels very N. Oh, 12.
Well, it's enough for her to catch it, but I will see if the other guy notices you.
The sun?
Yeah.
Peh. You're just fodder anyway. Sorry.
He squints his eyes suspiciously. But it's not enough to... It's just the hint of suspicion.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
he-
That's fun.
Yes. The sun sneers and then turns sharply to one of the more decorated skeletons. It looks like that might have been a commanding officer previously.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "You heard the Castellan, to the dungeons with them." And he scowlingly leads you to a barren barracks that looks like it has been in long disuse.
Skeletons don't really need to sleep or eat or relax.
Oh. And what are you doing?
Yeah, so I feel like Luca has now gone out of the range, maybe, of message.
Yes, but not out of the range of Farscribe.
Yes. But, now that En has gotten some semblance of what's happening to Luca, they are gonna try to, open their Farscribe to Willow. And they're gonna write, "Willow, are you alive?" And wait a minute.
It is dawn the next day, Willow,
Bum, bum.
when this message comes through.
Shall I assume, because I don't necessarily want to veer back, because I don't know where we're at on our ship, but can I just, like, be the text on N's page appearing?
Yes.
I think the text that N sees pop up is, let me think. Something along the lines of, "Oh, thank the stars and skies, where are you?"
Still figuring that out. Might be something to do with the blood sales. Skeletons have boarded the ship. Luca's been taken prisoner. I assume so has the rest of the crew. It's just me and Gardenia here. On the ship. Without its ring. In the water, from the sounds of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
This comes with, like, multiple texts, too, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you get one text and then another, and then another. It's not a concise paragraph.
Okay. I recall, because again, I'm not characterizing too much because we don't know where Willow is at the moment, but like, what I gathered from that skeletons, potential blood sales, Luca taken prisoner. Did you say the crew taken prisoner?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's only N and Gardenia that N is aware of being
Okay.
safe.
Okay. Okay, no. I need to think of how to be more specific because that's not necessarily... That is within the triangle of where I expected you guys to be.
Yes.
Blood cell territory. So that doesn't necessarily answer where are you. However, I know from experience with N that N doesn't necessarily know how to navigate the sea, especially not at daytime. When I asked you back at the convocation to navigate by the stars, you were like, huh? How?
What are stars?
So-
We don't have those in Sharn.
Exactly, you just discovered what stars are like the other day, so you're probably not going to be too useful in that situation. However, there are other things you might be able to describe. For example...
There's also Gardenia here, who is...
Yeah,
Oh, who might be better at it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm assuming that there are ways to analyze your position from, like, in relation to the sun is one of the most basic ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, In which direction are you from the sun presently? Willow might ask.
Make a survival or nature check.
Yeah, and like inches over to the window and pokes their head out. Let's go survival, because that's not quite as bad. But that's
Bro, it's cloudy.
to do with locate the sun. What do you mean for?
It's overcast.
Oh, okay.
The sun is in the sky. What do you want from me?
Where's the sun? Up there. That's the sorry,
Okay,
that's karma.
but I mean,
for,
like, okay,
Where
so-
did the storm chaser fall? Down.
And is okay, so Anne's near a window now, like they've inched themselves over to a window and peeked out. Can they see any other like characteristics of the landscape other than ocean and sun that they could use
Well,
to?
you can see I would imagine you guys are like around the storm chaser is probably docked around here, so you can look up at the fortress.
And like presses their face into the glass and like looks up. You know, like as much as you can when you're
Child
Oh my
at
God.
at an aquarium.
Do I
Yep, that's the
see
sun.
like do I see the flag up there? Because there's a flag at the top of that tower.
There's several banners across there, so you would see the banner of the Emerald Claw. I'm gonna also roll a history check for Gardenia. This is not her strongest suit, but
Great.
Oh, she's just
Wow.
like me.
Doing great, guys.
Oh my gosh.
But
Hey.
Gardenia rolled a 3.
yeah, Anna's going to like tuck back under the window and return to their book and write. We're next to some sort of fortress. There's I stand corrected. Emerald Claw flag.
I love the break in the sentence. You know, that also doesn't really narrow it down. I'm just thinking maybe more west than no, because it could be northwest. No, but that just makes everything a bit worse in general. Oh my god. Wait, you said fortress? You said Emerald Claw Fortress.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe any other details of the land or sea around you?
There's a lot of sea. There is not a lot of
Oh my
land.
gosh. Can you? I feel like in small text, superscript, you see Willow. Oh my god. Just instinctively, and then a little sorry after it. Of they didn't mean to say that out loud in their brain.
It can and see anything else of note.
Can you make a perception check? Can you?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Try. Use those big old eyes of yours.
14. It's above a 3.
Yay.
So, I'll give you a little description of the fort. So, there appears to be a central fortress, from like deep within the stone. You can see like little gouts of like smoke coming out, like there's something burning deep in there. There's the Emerald Claw things. The place looks pretty weathered and run down. You can see old cannons. The whole place feels old. You don't see any other ships necessarily. There's like maybe one longboat. Completely fucking covered in skeletons. Like, they're not actively searching the ship at the moment, or anything, but you do see just like patrols circling around.
You know, in Spirited Away, when Chihiro looks out the window of the car and like sticks her tongue out at the thing, that's what N does to these skeletons while they're looking out the window. It's like the disgusted sticks their tongue out at them. They're scanning this.
You're so
Hey, that's
annoying.
mean.
I took you captive,
Luca?
Luke. I have a particular vendetta against these ones. Anyway. And we'll report back to Willow. Very old fortress. Isolated. No other ships in sight.
Very old, isolated, no other ships. So it's not a fleet. It's a fortress. It's an old freaking skeleton fortress somewhere under the sun.
That narrows it down to the top half of Khorvaire.
Yes. No. Okay. Willow might. I
will say, and you could try and ask Luca via Farscribe for more information if he has any more information.
Yeah. I mean, and first might ask Gardenia, because Gardenia's here. Like, do you know this
True.
place at all? This familiar to anything?
3 intelligence looms in the background.
Yeah. Guardia just says, I got no fucking clue. Somewhere around Farland.
Fantastic. Well, you're over there not having a clue. Try to access your memory about anything regarding the Emerald Claw. I'm going to continue over here. Thank you. And then right to Willow, please hold. Turns the page.
Oh my god.
Luca.
Yep.
You are, I believe at this point, sitting in the barracks. You are still bound.
Mm-hmm.
For now. It is.
Just another day in my life for Luca Constance.
Yeah. I will give
Sorry,
you
Luca Falcontorm.
Falcontorm, yeah. You've got a new fake name. Give me an intelligence check, real quick.
Oh,
Let's go. Okay.
9.
Okay, so you were led through a bunch of hallways to this barracks rooms, like through a bunch of hallways and stairs. You have no idea where you are in relation to that central foyer. Everything, there's like weird loops, and like everything looks the same. Like no signposting, no distinguishing features, just cold stone, cold magical light, unheated. Even now, it's like you're in like essentially like peak summer. It is uncomfortably chill. This place is not well insulated. All of the interior corridors are like really cramped, like only about 5 feet wide, about 7 feet high. The chamber you're in has about a 10-foot high ceiling, which is a little more normal breathing room. But like all the corridors and hallways feel really cramped and close. There is a single, at this point, skeletal guard. Looks to be, you would guess, the rank of like a captain or a lieutenant-ish sort of thing. So somebody who would lead a squadron is guarding you. Just keeping watch idly, completely motionless. Its empty sockets facing you. You are seated on your choice of a old wooden chair or a real old rag mattress.
Luca thinks of dust mites. Luca thinks of mites on his skin. No, thank you. The chair.
Okay.
Are my hands behind or in front of me? Important no question.
I think they are in front.
Cool. Good to know. Can I talk to the skeleton?
You just if you try talking to the skeleton, it cannot respond.
Are you gonna respond to Anne?
What did Anne say?
Luca.
Oh, Anne?
Oh, good, you're still alive. What's happening?
Well, Emerald Claw.
Got that.
They want to give the ship to Lyranda, and I assume the crew, to kill them off. Or worse.
Great. Okay. Do you know where we are?
Am I alone with the guy left,
Yes,
right?
you are alone.
Is there a window?
Yeah, there's like a narrow window. You also have the
You
information
did get
of the
formally
name.
invited.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Oh, I did get the name. What was the name?
Castellan Wolfron Grimwald III.
Oh, the person's name. Yes, I remember that. I thought, for some reason, I thought you gave us like a fortress name, and I was like, we didn't do that, did we? Sarah's stupid. Luca relays that information to N as quickly as he can.
Cool,
The
great.
voice of Willow surfaces again, and do you want to make an insight check? I just want to see if anyone remembers the intel I give them.
I remember, yes.
You were there. You were reading those things.
I read it. So,
Yes. So, you found a letter in Khorvaire desk when you were raiding the Killjoys, that contained the seal and signature of Castellan Wolfron Grimwald III. And I believe, let me just quickly open up my own notes.
yeah, as soon as I
also
saw
have
it on
my
the
notes of
rolls,
the
I was like,
captain's log.
that's the guy. It's the guy. I know that guy.
I know that name!
But I'm not here, so I just have to sit here.
I do have it written as you said it, I think. But no, you can feel free to give whatever info.
Yes. So, there was a signed letter from the Emerald Claw promising financial rewards in exchange for aiding their holy warriors on missions in the Lazar Seas.
Great. Okay.
And this guy, that name seemed to be the contact for Khorvaire.
Fantastic. This is adding up wonderfully in my brain.
As it should.
And
Do you have that perfume
you
with
will
you?
recall, Luca took claim of the crow's skull that had been ritually prepared to be able to cast augury, which was presumably a gift from this guy.
Mm-hmm. Great. And we'll ask Luca after that. Are you hurt?
No, I'm alright. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm alright, Luca says at 1 hit point.
the Zelda, what, like half a heart noise?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm alive. Bit bumped and bruised, but can't complain. I've got in contact with Willow. They're alive. I'm trying to give them our location, so you can understand my line of questioning. I'm going to get in touch with them again. You hold tight.
Tell them to be safe and strong.
You too, buddy. And, like, flips the page back to where they were talking to Willow. Willow?
Yes.
So, I've got a little bit more intel. I believe we may just be at the fortress of Castellan Wolfron Grimwald III.
Willow, like, almost immediately responds, Khorvaire's contact.
That'd be the one.
Kolba contact.
This is why you're not on the voice call.
I'm gonna remove Luca from this call.
Booted. I'm gonna make his sprite disappear just for that.
There is a prolonged silence from the Willow side of things. I feel like in your mind, you can see them just nursing the worst migraine of all time. How did N start this conversation again? You said you weren't caught. Everyone, wait, what? You didn't say anything of that yet.
And said that they're in Gardenia are here. Luca was captured, and they presume the rest of the crew because they can't hear nor see the crew around, essentially.
Okay, so I know. Okay. Who,
The page just starts filling with okay.
Yeah, I wonder.
All right,
if
all
Willow's
right,
actually
all right,
saying
all right.
that aloud. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. I'm stuck in a loop. All right. A signed letter from the Emerald Claw promising financial rewards in exchange for aiding their holy warriors on missions in the Lazar Seas. Yeah, okay. And also, the augury skull. Also, we got a medallion, which I believe we kept. Who got given that? Did I give that to N or did I keep it?
I don't have it.
What type of medallion?
It
was a medal with the seal of the Emerald Claw. I believe that is just in your storage.
Yeah, I think we just left that on the ship. As like,
That would have been beneficial for me to have right
we
now.
didn't expect this to happen.
I mean, it's probably in my party pockets because I keep my signet rings on me as well. My laundry list of signet rings for if we ever need to convince someone of something. I really should give them to N. Anyway, that's something for the next adventure, I guess. If we ever get through this one, it's okay. Okay, long ass pause from Willow. I assume I'm sort of operating off no context here for Willow. But I'm gonna assume that I'm still rolling at disadvantage. Can I roll? What would I need to roll to kind of narrow down? No, there's no way for me to narrow this down. I don't have a GPS in my brain. Well, you know, I do have a sense of direction.
You do have a sense of direction.
You also have someone you can ask.
You can give me a history check.
Okay. I don't know. See, I'm playing very loose here because I don't know what the situation is on our ship.
Yeah. Fair.
So, was it history check at disadvantage?
Yes.
Because I somewhat suspect we didn't sleep. Okay, 13.
Well, you can narrow down your range of searching. At least. You know it must be somewhere along the coast of Farleman, but far enough away that you can't see land. It's on an isolated island. So, just like you can relay that information at least for your search. I don't think you know anything else. But you have the name, which is a start on that lead. And you're in contact with N and Luca. And yeah.
I know that Khorvaire. Okay, something is clicking together in my head. Not great, but potentially usable information. I'll keep that under my wing for now, because it might become relevant later. But I might roll with the where question sorted. Another question is looming on my mind, but I might need to roll a wisdom save to see if I can ask it. You good with that?
Sweetie.
Sure.
Okay. Wisdom save?
Yes.
Oh, did I need to roll that at disadvantage?
Does it matter?
You didn't, but we take the left.
Oh, I lost either way. Okay.
That's a 6.
What was the question you were going to ask? For my curiosity.
Is everyone alive?
Oh.
Is everyone accounted for? Might be the question, but the real question is, has anyone died? Willow can't bring themselves to ask that question. So I think what N receives is, thanks, that's more than enough to work with. We will find you as soon as we can.
All right, I will hold down the fort in the meantime. Luca said to stay safe and stay strong. I will see if I can gather any further information in the meantime.
Willow... Anyway... I like to think that the text that you receive almost like changes font slightly depending on the tone of voice that it's said with. So almost in like very straight block letters, it's like, tell the seeker to take his own advice. This is dangerous for him.
Sure thing.
And then a pause, and then a both of you.
Oh, don't worry. I understand.
Another pause. All of you.
I understand. Hello.
So, shall we cut back to the Kraken Slayer and the horrible 7 hours?
Horrible, terrible, awful, bad day.
7 hours is a lot of time.
Yes.
So we're rewinding to before I heard from you guys.
Yep.
I'm, my natural 20, standing, cool,
Yep.
deceptive. So
Yep.
fine. Nice. Okay, well, yeah.
So chill.
Here we are.
Koulton flagging at the wheel just a little bit.
As long as he's awake and as long as he's on course. Though I guess we probably need to start thinking about longevity and swapping. We can't stop.
No.
But no one here can drive, other than Varys, who is possibly out of commission. I guess we could check on him later, but that also seems not very helpful. These are coasting conditions, so that should be fine.
Yeah.
But he needs to get some rest. And I guess I will only... Well, that's not really up to me. No, yes, no. Okay, anyway, we'll see what happens. For now, Koulton's driving.
Yes. I think there is a heavy silence. At one point, Koulton checks on you over his shoulder. You're just cool guy standing there.
I do think that there is the... You get that prickle of being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Willow will distinctly avoid looking back at him. Like, he can probably see them look away. If they're standing kind of sideways at the window, they look back out the window when he looks at them.
I think he's just, like, radiating sort of, like, hostility.
Yeah.
In a sort of, like, tamped down way of, like, there's no, like, flash boom bang anymore, but, like, the sort of anger is just smoldering.
Yeah. This isn't a comfortable silence, to say the very least.
No.
This is that kind of festering silence.
Yes.
And I think it just gets worse passively the more that we're standing here.
Yeah.
And the more that I say nothing.
Yeah.
Which is the whole time. Until he prompts it. Which I suspect he might any second now. Just from a track record.
Yeah.
I feel like for as much as the hostility raises in Koulton, there's this like equally massive, equally impactful, but like very quiet Willow energy as well. It's almost like the shield.
Yeah.
That kind of expands to fill the rest of the room. Yeah. I think both of them quietly understand there is an inevitable building tension.
I'm gonna roll a little wisdom check for Koulton. It's a 7. I'm gonna say that is not wise enough to keep his mouth shut.
When Willow takes that little inhale of breath before he starts talking like they know it's just about to land.
Mm-hmm.
Brace yourself.
So what happened to the old fucker that was driving earlier?
Strong start. Okay, Willow prickles. They brace themselves for an attack towards them. I don't think they brace themselves for a diss towards Varys. So, good job, Koulton. You stoked a little prickle in Willow's neck. Varys, he went down to the rest of the crew.
Rest of the crew? Who all did you manage to bring along with you then?
Shit. Willow's thinking, does this implicate anybody? Well, it's too late. They're already here. Shit! God! Anyway, that's okay. Whatever. Willow stalls. I feel like Koulton can tell that Willow's like... already, stepped in it. And they hesitate to respond. In fact, you know what? They might just not.
In which case, Koulton says, to your silence, so what did you tell them? What did you promise them? Did you tell them anything at all?
Blue's ignoring him.
Oh, more of the silent treatment, yeah. Of course. Not like I spent nearly 5 years not hearing a fucking word from you. Now this. Just fucking typical.
Typical. Typical? Which part of this is typical?
Every time I go fucking chasing after you, some batshit insane thing happens. You know, maybe there is some fucking merit to people saying you were cursed. You're certainly a fucking bad luck charm to me.
Whew. Little spasm of annoyance on Willow's face. I thought you were the cursed one. From what I heard. A string of bad luck befell the Prince of the Wind Whisperers. Perhaps if chasing me led you to such inopportune circumstances, you should have stopped. Adding to your laundry list of just wonderful decision-making.
Oh, really? You're gonna blame me for this?
Well, if you're going to blame me.
You're the one that left. You're the one that led us here.
An isolated circumstance, I'm sure.
Fuck off. I don't have to justify myself to you.
Not asking you to. You're the one talking. I'm just here to make sure you don't fall asleep.
Fuck off.
I thought you didn't want me to.
You gonna do anything useful, or are you just gonna backseat drive?
Did you have a direction before I did my useful things? Or were you just going to turn in circles until the storm chaser magically appeared? By all means, discard my map. I'm a curse. Maybe I'm sending you in the wrong direction.
No, your work's fine.
Thanks.
It's just everything else about you.
Right back at you, Captain.
I think he flips you off.
Yeah, I flip him off too. My arms are folded, but it pops up.
Koulton does another violent jerk of the ship. Completely unnecessary. But is still following the course.
I am going to roll a little checky check. Was it con? What do I roll?
a
Dexterity.
dex.
Just dex save or just dex?
Dex save. Are you?
I rolled a
The save-
disadvantage.
Yeah,
So-
you're not actually. Saves are not at disadvantage yet.
Yeah, I just had it selected so I don't forget. But I still rolled a nat 20
In
there,
there.
but I just got a 16.
Even if it doesn't count.
That's
Still-
So do I
lazy.
add this to the tally? Just let me know. I need to know.
No, I think it's not applied
to
to the
land.
session, but
It's
know that
just-
it has
Okay.
been rolled in.
Okay.
It's just in there for our knowledge that
bonus
the
one.
algorithm decided you almost got another net 20.
That's crazy.
The algorithm is like, Willow is going to lose today at everything except their rolls.
as Koulton said, your work's good. You just suck.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Willow's going to sort of move with the ship, again adjusting their weight very well, and will snap at him. You have more crew than me on this ship. Would you drive steady? For your information, Bjorn and Claptrap, also Mei Mei. And I didn't promise them anything. So you can take that into account in your own terms, whatever your crew might be lacking.
Give me a quick little insight check.
Okay. I immediately bit my knuckle after saying that. Like, what? Okay, disadvantage on the insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you don't notice the way Koulton's ear twitches, and he sucks a little breath through his teeth, hearing those names. What was your fucking plan anyway? Sail out to meet me in the skies? We stab each other to death? And then what? You win? Or let me guess. We run into the storm and, because it's so intense, we have to work together and make up. What other bullshit angle did you have?
Doesn't matter now, does it?
You and your fucking results.
Let me know if at any point he looks back at Willow. I don't think so, though. This is... Well, I guess there is a reflection.
There is, like, sidelong glances.
He can roll an insight, too.
Okay.
Nice! He does not see the
Wow.
way that Willow's ear twitches.
In perfect sync.
Yeah. Willow's back to quiet.
What? No comeback?
Under their breath, Willow mutters something so quietly under their breath.
I'll make a perception check for him to see if he catches any of it.
It's quick. 15's pretty high.
Do you want to roll, like, a stealth check?
Sure.
I think meets it beats it is the rule.
So
So he just catches what you're saying.
Willow just quietly said, "Fuck off."
Oh, you want to take a turn at the wheel?
Oh, sorry. There's a little asterisk before this. Willow's mad. Okay. Under their breath again. Koulton meets it, beats it. Oh, might do a better job keeping it afloat than the last captain.
I think he whips around at that and says, "Don't fucking dare. You leave my sister out of this."
You leave Varys out of this. Otherwise, if I do recall, I did find this ship in a poor lease condition. And it is currently in tip-top shape, so maybe I'm not good at steering the ship, but thanks to me, you can steer it.
Yeah. Would have been great to have a fucking competent artificer when we were under fire.
Ouch. Suppose Doribel never measured up, huh?
There's another little twitch. Do you know how fucking hard it is to mend an airship when you've made all of the adjustments yourself?
Willow nods, bit frankly, like, yes, I'm aware.
While your crew is suffering? Maybe you hadn't heard. People fucking died on the Kraken Slayer crashed. No thanks to you.
Willow laughs. That's wild. Interesting leadership at the time. Who was the prince? Where was the prince?
Fuck off.
You fuck off.
Koulton is just gritting his teeth and baring them at you like he's... I think he locks the wheel.
Willow's been arms folded at the window this entire time. I think their hand drops to their sword, and they tip their head at him.
You don't get to come at me for my decisions. Not when your decision started this whole thing. It's real easy for fucking cowards to criticize, isn't it? You think you could do better? I don't. Otherwise you would have done it. And you know what I think? I think you were too much of a coward to finish the fucking job.
I need to make everybody footloose. I need to make intelligence save, perhaps.
What's
Wisdom
your
save.
Well, talk me through your reasoning here.
Hold me back.
Oh. That's wisdom.
Okay.
Let's set the DC at 15.
Nice. I rolled a 12. Gun
That's
is drawn
a fail.
so fast and pointed directly at him.
You know what? He's pissed. Nat 20 charisma check.
Uh-oh.
No!
Tables have turned.
Oh.
Koulton steps
Nice.
closer so that the muzzle is touching his chest. He says, "Go on then. Prove me wrong."
His chest, you say? His
Yes.
scarred chest. His scarred by the Warforged at the Mournland's chest. That chest.
Yes. Yes.
Dragonmark chest. That chest. The chest. The chest. Okay, Nat 20 charisma. Fuck. Ah.
We're in bullet time at the moment. Unless you tell me that Willow is stalling.
The bullet time is, in fact, Mim being riddled with bullets.
I mean, they don't shoot immediately. I'm going to give it to his natural 20. That for as quickly and decisively as Willow pulled out their pistol, the trigger remains unpulled. What's that about? I'm giving it to a nat 20 on him. Actually, shall I? I'm going to roll a deception. I know I can't beat this even at my highest, but let's see
You
how
might as
badly
well
I
see
fail
how
it.
badly you fail.
7. Awesome. He
Yeah.
called a bluff. He did it successfully. The fact that he did it successfully flusters Willow. I think what he sees, especially on a nat 20, Willow has been thinly disguising being very affected by what he's saying. And I think he sees it proper now. Also, they kind of look like shit. Like, just,
Yeah.
I feel like they're looking at him properly now. They're trying to fix him with that, like, with like an unwavering kind of look to offset the fact that they are faltering so massively internally.
Mm-hmm. I don't think your look is that unwavering.
No, it's wavering. Yeah, it's yeah. 7
It's
deception,
wavering pretty bad.
wavering. It's wavering. I think that it's like almost shivering. All of that stuff they've been holding off, that they rolled like 400 nat 20s before to hold
Yeah.
off, is kind of showing on their face.
Yeah.
And what they kind of hoped for in that moment, he has just seen through like glass.
Yeah.
Bullet's gonna try and lower the gun and leave.
I think Koulton just says, "Yeah, that's what I thought."
They will slam the door behind them though when they leave. That doesn't accomplish anything other than really just salting the wound that they've had nothing more
Yeah.
compelling to say.
Make a quick perception check.
7?
You just barely hear the like crackle of electricity being discharged.
Oof. I'm surprised he didn't stop me from leaving, actually. I was half expecting him to clothesline me. He could. Hey, genuine question. Would he let Willow leave? Because he's got them cornered. If he wanted to ask anything or say anything, but that's up to you.
I feel like Willow turning tail and running is like...
Is worse?
Yeah, it's the you've admitted defeat. And you are already cornered.
Well, when you put it like that...
Yes. You're already cornered. You're on this ship with him. He's driving it. Koulton's like, yeah, that's what I thought, is just as much for their inability to shoot as it is for their, like, shameful retreat.
That's... Oh! Okay. I feel Okay, that's okay. You describing it like that has just made my... Okay. We're back to the okay circle. Yeah, Willow needs to leave. Cool. Willow needs to leave. Typical. This is the worst. Okay. Yeah. Bye.
It's bad out here.
It's so bad. I'm gonna probably just sit in the workshop, maybe.
Honestly, I think Luca and Anne are doing better than you are, and we're getting accosted by skeletons.
Not even. You're just, like, straight up unconscious at this point in time, because it's still, like, 2 a.m.
Thank God! Blissful
Honestly,
unconscious.
my statement still stands.
Yeah.
Unconscious in a crashed ship is better than being conscious in a crashing ship.
Don't talk to me.
Being trapped by the people who may have, like, destroyed my love is somehow better than whatever is happening on your ship. Being trapped with the people who may destroy me as, like, a person is somehow better than whatever you're experiencing. I may come undone from this as a human being.
Well, bro, same.
I would rather this.
I can tell you, I feel like I just felt every single shred of Willow's ego that they've built up to try and manage the situation just melted.
Shameful retreat.
Shameful
That
retreat
made me
makes me want to
sick.
puke.
That
Yeah.
made my stomach in my eyes. That's disgusting.
Shut up! Zeke's description of it has made me feel regret that I did not know I could feel. So that's great. That's accurate. Thanks. I love the... Wouldn't he do this? No, he's done a much worse thing. Shut the fuck door.
Episode title, shut the fuck door. Thank you.
Oh. Alright. That's good to know. Anyway, see, you know what's funny is, like, I was gonna say that, like, if Willow were in their right mind, they would go check on Varys, make sure that, you know, the backup driver is ready to take over the wheel when Koulton is ready to, you know, swap over. Because nothing like that is going to happen, what I'm imagining is that Koulton chucks an all-nighter, and Willow, whatever fucking happens when they're sitting in their workshop, is what's happening for the next 6 hours. That's it. Yeah. Koulton doesn't sleep. I die.
Also don't sleep.
I perish. I can't
You
sleep.
begin to rot
That's such
in
a
your
crazy
own
thing.
workshop, just like old times.
Just like in my dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sitting at that. You know what? Actually, we get. Oh. I feel like we get that shot of Willow. No. I don't know. It's so hard to imagine Willow exploding at all. I feel like the most they do is slam the door and then they'll just go and sit in the workshop.
Exploding on the inside.
Yeah. They wish they could fall asleep probably, but I don't think either Willow or Koulton are gonna nap tonight.
No.
Damn. That's a shame.
You don't even know if Anne and Luca are alive right now.
No.
Oh my god. Thanks.
Happy to help.
You don't know where the storm chaser is right now. You just hope
Don't know
you
if
have guessed
anybody is
correctly.
alive.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's alive. Yeah.
Shamefully retreated to your workshop.
I think Varys eventually comes and finds you.
Wish you wouldn't.
He knocks at the door at least.
I'm not answering.
Willow, are you in here?
I'm not answering.
Is the door locked?
Shit. Can I roll heads or tails? Heads, it's locked. Tails, it's not. Tails
So
is 2.
Yeah.
How do I roll a D2? Can't fucking do anything.
/ RD2.
2 is tails. What was tails locked?
Unlocked.
Yeah, sure. Tails is locked. Oh, tails is unlocked. Okay, then it's locked.
Yeah. Okay. Garrus tries the door. It's locked.
Hmm.
You in there? Willow? Hope you're sleeping. Looks like it's gonna be a long night. And he leaves.
For whatever it's worth to Captain, pardon me, former Captain, Helmsman Greenleaf, the visual I'm imagining is almost like, you know that dream Willow had where the room started to like overcome with decay?
Yeah.
And, you know, the letters everywhere. I feel like they are exhausted. Like, they have a point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
They're also, their vision is not just like headaches. It's like migraine headaches plus impacts to their actual, the way that they see things.
Yeah.
Visually, I feel like there's almost an element of like, Willow is rotting in this room and the room is rotting with them. Like, it's always taking on that like ambient presence of that dream that we've seen before.
Yeah.
So to Varys's credit, Willow doesn't respond to him, but I feel like subconsciously it pulls back a bit of that unreality, or like the not what's there. It pulls back a bit of that projection.
Yeah.
And Willow is at least aware that they're in their workshop and where they are. Because, you know, if this were that same old dream again, Varys wouldn't be there.
Varys wouldn't be knocking at your door and asking you to come out. Or, like, asking if you're there.
Yeah.
That's the kind of kindness that you don't get from your own brain.
Yeah. So they may not have responded, but I do think he kind of breached that part, at least. So Willow's just rotting in the normal way.
Yeah. The one good thing is that, like, in spite of your massive headache, at least closing your eyes and being in a dark space does help with the, like, sensory overload of your ethereal vision. A little bit. So.
There's that.
Even if you aren't sleeping, you are at least in some way resting. Resting poorly, but resting nonetheless.
Yeah. That's fine.
If you would like to, you can roll for a short rest.
How lovely of you, Zeke. How do I do this again? Click the short rest button.
Yeah.
I click the short rest button.
And you can also roll hit dice to recover hit points.
3.
You can roll another one if you like.
Can I?
You can roll multiple. You can roll as many as you like.
As many as you have.
Yeah.
Under the hit dice, there'll be
3.
That's 6.
That brings me to 25 hit points. Whoop.
Well, that's an improvement.
I might do one more. No, I'm not well enough yet. Sorry, I'm still exhausted, and I've got no reason to feel better. This doesn't feel restful enough for me to roll more than 2.
Yeah.
So,
at least your wounds are closed up. Like, you're not actively.
Yeah.
You're scabbing a little bit. Okay.
Yay.
I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw for Koulton to maintain his all-nighter.
See if you can get another 20. Oh, good for you.
It's a 21
Good
total.
job.
He is a hardy boy. So, yeah. Wretched night. Koulton flying all night. I do think, yeah, he's going to take a point of exhaustion as well, because he just literally pulled an all-nighter.
Yep.
But it's only 1 point of exhaustion, so. Dawn comes to the Kraken Slayer. You have not heard anything from N. Koulton tries the sending stone again. No response. cold, overcast day as you head north and west. And finally, you hear the voice of N in your mind through the far scribe.
Oh, God.
So, we get all of that information. Willow has just been in their workshop the whole time.
I think head down in their arms, like at their desk,
Yeah.
like they're falling asleep at their desk. They haven't.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they've slept. It's been that kind of
Yeah.
like blinks between long spells of just like
Yeah.
the worst thoughts, non-thoughts known to man.
Yeah.
But like Willow will jerk up at the sound of N's voice. They almost feel like, I feel like Willow was in such a horrid space, kind of almost like on their way to a negative Star Touch Wonder. It's that level of like internal rumination
Mm-hmm.
that like it could almost count as meditative in the worst way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full on
N's voice-
dissociation zone.
Yeah. N's voice snaps through it in a way where they almost like think that it's part of a dream or something, and then Willow like wakes up and you get that first line. I think it was thank the stars and skies or something.
Yeah.
Not even the season skies, stars and skies. Damn.
Yep.
And then you get that visual, I think, of Willow kind of scrambling for consciousness.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can imagine Willow taking down notes as they're like
100%.
communicating with N.
No, they've
Scrambles for a pen
100%
and
whipped out
paper.
their journal. Yeah, they look so disoriented and like sore. Like they're 7 hours have now passed. I've thankfully been closing my eyes, but as soon as I open my eyes again, it's clear that I've not like slept, I've not recovered. My ethereal vision's going horrible, don't have my glasses, you know. It's just bad. But either way, I'm writing down everything that N says. You see the kind of sickened pause as Willow recognizes the name.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that I have the medallion?
Yeah.
Because, I don't see why I'd leave it. It's definitely something I'd keep in my pocket.
Yeah.
Along with the Lyranda signet ring we also stole from him, as an aside.
Yep.
And my numerous other signet rings we've taken from people. For whatever that's worth. The Bartosz one and the Kenneth one. I have a little collection going. Yeah. And then also you, of course, see the moment where Willow hesitates to ask. And now I feel like it almost makes a lot more sense why Willow's hesitated to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Why Willow's found it impossible to ask, how is everyone? Honestly, it's any wonder that Willow responded to at all.
Yeah. It was something other to do than, like, despair.
It
Yeah.
is confirmation
And
that
instinct.
someone's alive.
No, yeah, it's partway there. It's just that, obviously, the larger scope
Yeah.
cannot
Still
be thought of
too
at the moment.
scary.
Yeah, very frightening, even though it would be very useful to take that information back. I think the regret kind of pulls after, because like once the line goes dead, I realize like that's it. Until N messages me back, I don't
Yeah.
really know what else to do. I just have to have this
You
information.
have some information.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you gave the map of Khorvaire's intel to Emma, didn't you?
I did. But that was Lyranda anyway. That was Lyranda locations. Let me go to my captain's log real quick. From there, we got a scimitar, which I gave to Varys. Trident, which we gave to Luca, but I think he might have left it on the boat. Do you have that, Luca?
Mm-hmm.
Not carrying around a trident, no.
Petrified Dryad, Heartwood Bookend. To be fair, holding the trident would be pretty damning. Khorvaire's perfume, which I think N took. We have the carpet, which we stole and put in the ephemeral chaos. We have 12 books, which I would love to have access to at the moment, but they're back on the ship because one of them might have information about this grim-walled bastard. And a somehow enchanted map. Is that the Lyranda one?
I'm not sure. It was the surveillance password map,
Yeah.
which I believe showed not only Lyranda movements. There was also there was some general shipping schedules for Lyranda, which I think was one of the notes, and then there was the map which had Culbricon's shit list of the sea dragons, Lyrander, and some of the wind whisperers. Like, clearly this was him mapping stuff out.
Look, what's
for
the
his own
likelihood
record.
What? I feel like the likelihood of me with no information, and no one here that particularly seems well versed or shouldn't be well versed in like. Oh, hold on, May. Pause. No, just I've accounted for what everyone should know, except for her. I don't actually know what connection she has, and N said that they were with Gardenia, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Two things that I'm aware of. Firstly, is that revelation that I don't know what May might and might not know. I don't see why she'd know that in particular, but also Khorvaire is an enemy of Lyrander, and Lyrander is also an enemy of the Emerald Claw, and I've never actually talked to the Thoranis to see whether they're aware of that, but they should be, right? She might not be because she's just been playing Game Boy at the sundown for the past however many years, but like... Still, there's that. And also, additionally, we know that we deliberately made Khorvaire believe that the Emerald Claw betrayed him, so maybe he'll be around. I mean, certainly if we see a Killjaw firing off in that direction, we can take a stab in the dark. That's the place. Otherwise, why would he be heading there? But well, I mean, we could surveil it now that it's daytime. I'm going to say that that's Willow's thought process, but at the same time, it's vaguely outrunning, headache, psychic damage, like that's kind of those two thoughts are competing.
Yeah.
But hey, I'd prefer to talk to May than talk to Koulton, so... Yeah. We could probably switch back to those guys, but I think I'm going to talk to May.
Let's follow this real quick. Let's just have you find May, because it's been a while since we've seen her.
Yeah, is she
doing
even
the splits?
Fine? Yeah, who knows? I emerge looking like shit and ass, and I will try and find May.
Yeah.
Sorry, I look wild.
Yeah. You've got
door open.
You've got such eye bags and such a like wide-eyed manic look.
We ain't the only ones dealing with undead.
Zombie ass. Woo, boy. Yeah, you find May in the crew quarters in one of the hammocks, like she's clearly had a rest.
That's
or else,
crazy.
Either that or like, because like elves don't sleep very much. Either that or she's been resting for a while, or like she was up during the night and the Bjorn and Claptrap and Varys were taking turns watching now. Yeah, there's like definitely some like shuffling activity. Give me a quick perception check. Flat roll. Flat roll for yes. You can smell
21.
coffee, so that means that Bjorn at least has probably given Koulton some coffee.
Cool, don't care. I'm going to immediately go to May. Do you know anything about the Emerald Claw?
And she like wakes up with a startle and just like,
oh, sorry. I would have nudged. I would have prodded her probably. No.
She's still startled.
Yeah.
Would you?
No, I think I just appear.
She's like,
at least say her name first. May, do you know it? But this is very close together.
It's still very like, what?
Or Wolfrin Grimwald III, friend of Khorvaire. Do you have intel on Khorvaire? You should have intel on Khorvaire, or at least can you access intel on the Dire Sharks? The Killjaw specifically. The Prince's ship. And any allies that they may have. Do you have access to that kind of information?
Yeah. What was that name again? Grimwin?
Castellan Wolfrin Grimwald III.
on an 18 intelligence check for Mei Mei, which clutch fucking roll.
Yes.
She goes, and she like massages her eyes like a kid trying to remember like a history fact, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He was a Karnathi military official posted at Fort Fathomless, when the Regent Marana asked all of the Blood of Vol chivalric orders to disarm, and because he was part of the Emerald Claw, he refused and slaughtered everybody there, and the army had to write off the fort as a loss.
Willow's been nodding diligently this entire time.
So, it's like sort of a little bit south and west of Farlnen, like a little bit north and west of Stone Spur. What was the question again?
Perfect. You've answered it.
Okay.
Willow
Okay.
grins and claps their hands together. Thank you. Fort Fathomless, and they'll head off now.
All right. I think at this point we can cut back to said Fort Fathomless.
Yep. I think in this time between, and getting off call with Willow, Anne is going to, for brevity's sake, Anne is just going to, pretty much ask Luca what has happened up to this point, so if Zeke is okay with it, I just say that Anne knows the loose version of what has happened with Luca, assuming Luca would be willing to share that information.
Yeah, he's not being like, ooh, but not make Anne nervous. No, we've got shit to do.
I know where you are. You're in the Emerald Claw Fortress, and I prefer you not to be in prison, so I like this news.
Yes.
This is good news.
Some news that you can work
Yes.
from. Yeah. I think Gardenia says, "What are you writing?"
I'm communicating with our man inside and our man in the sky. What are you doing?
Surveying, trying to keep track of patrols. I think there's a possibility we could sneak in, but if you have information on the inside, that makes my job easier.
Oh, great. At this point, the big guy, my friend, has infiltrated the ranks
How so?
of the Emerald Claw. Apparently, he has managed to convince our big man on top, and then we'll repeat the name.
Castellan Wolfrun Grimwald III.
Yeah, that one. Has convinced him that he, too, is an Emerald Claw. That Luca is an Emerald Claw, which Luca is from Karnath, so
Wow.
don't know how long that ruse is going to last, but it's kept him out of the brig for the time being. Can't say the same for the rest of the crew.
Don't suppose you can contact anybody else from the crew with that?
Nah, it's very limited. I can only connect with my crew, I'm afraid.
Well, shit. But it's something.
It is something. I can ask him to try things if there's anything you want him to look for, or try to squeeze out of whatever's in there. Mostly skeletons, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, if we could get a head count on how many forces they have.
Well, I did ask that initially, and all I got back was, looks in the book, which is blank now, army. So I'm gonna assume a lot. Do you hear anything out there? I kind of imagine this is in message, too, because they're being stealthy.
Yes. Mental communication, yeah. Gardenia is, surveying out of the porthole. It says, I think there's maybe a handful of skeleton guards watching over the ship right now, but other than that, we seem to be alone. Obviously, the
good.
fortress is crawling with the fuckers.
Yeah, there's even a boat out there with a whole bunch of them. Oh. And, like, presses their face to the glasses again and looks down. You said seemed like there was something burning underneath the fortress?
Yeah, it looked like there were, like, gouts of smoke coming to them. Coming out of the like, base of the thing.
And slides back down from the window. I do have a potion of water breathing.
Huh. One of them?
Yeah, afraid so. As I recall, our man on the inside also has certain abilities to walk underwater, so worse and worse, maybe he can cannonball out a window and walk on the bottom of the sea.
Let's save that as a emergency exit.
Yeah.
Shoot. See if your man on the inside can get a tour of the place. The more we know about the interior, the better.
Yeah. Smart. Alright. And opens their book again. You still alive? Luca?
Hello.
Sorry, you sounded like the vine of like pouring water on Luca's face. Hello.
I will flavor that, as Luca had like let his head hang a little bit. his head hang a little bit, and he was like slowly casting like 10 lay on hands on himself. Because he was not doing great.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay, so I don't know how much leverage you have in there, but it'd be great if we could get some sort of feel for the interior. If me and Gardenia are going to make any sort of moves, having an idea of the layout will be wildly beneficial. So if you can pull that off to any extent, that'd be great.
Actually, here's one I prepared earlier. Zeke, can I convince you to let me try and summon a steed that is not the steeds that I have steeded before?
Depends on what kind of steed, and also your wrists are restrained, so casting spells right now is very difficult and would be very obvious.
What if I ask the skeleton nicely?
You would have to make a sleight of hand check. And how far away can you summon the steed?
30 feet, so I was assuming just outside the door.
That's risky, because there are probably other guards elsewhere, so...
Steve just is summoned and on top of 2 other skeletons.
Okay, well, like, given my knowledge of skeletal...
Does it have to be a point that you can see, is my question.
Oh, let me check. Just close the thing. Appearing in an unoccupied space within range, so no.
Okay, so doesn't say line of sight, but it does take 10 minutes to cast. So you can make a sleight of hand check. I think this has to be sleight of hand because it is spell casting.
Wait. Could I politely ask the skeleton if I could heal myself? And deceive and or persuade the skeleton?
You can certainly try.
Can I make a persuasion check towards the skeleton?
Sure. Before that, actually, make an insight check to see if the skeleton can comprehend you.
I mean, the last one I hung out with did.
Last one was made different. Ooh.
24.
24
yes,
total?
the last one was made. 24 total.
This skeleton has little more function than an automaton. It can perform very simple tasks. It is not in the least bit sentient. So you do not think that you could reason with it. It has strict orders.
Yes, what were the orders it was given? Did I hear them?
It said, keep watch. and you assume that it has running orders for like how to behave in general. So there is a risk, but it is possible to try and like sneakily summon your steed outside of the room.
What would I have to roll to take that risk?
It would be a sleight of hand, and a stealth check against the skeleton's perception.
Both?
Yes, because the stealth is for making noise, basically like you speaking the words, because Find Steed is verbal and somatic.
Yep.
And the sleight of hand is for the hand gestures of summoning the steed.
Okay. Do we think
I
this is
will-
a good
I will
idea
roll
as a team?
I can roll the perception check for this undead, so that you can see what the DC is.
Okay. Everyone, cross your fingers for me. Stupid undead.
9.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean,
And I
Okay.
believe because of your boots of elven kind, you have advantage.
Not have disadvantage.
You
Oh.
do not have you don't have disadvantage. Well, what kind of armor are you wearing? Breastplate?
Yeah, breastplate.
Which doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth, so you have advantage on stealth at this point.
Oh, okay. Gently tapping my feet. Okay,
This
let's
is
give this a try.
specifically for moving quietly.
Okay. So, advantage on stealth?
Yes, and
Okay.
I'll let it ride also to the sleight of hand because it is specifically moving quietly,
Okay, cool.
Moving in a way
Everyone wish
that
me
is-
luck.
circumspect.
12?
That's
Go
a
over 9?
success.
Hey,
Yep.
it's above a 10.
Okay,
That'll do.
okay. Fingers crossed. Oh,
A
oh,
19.
19!
Hey!
Okay, please describe as you summon a steed outside of the room that you're in.
Okay, so Luca is, I think, he's trying to summon his steed, and he doesn't know if he can change its shape. So he is like pulling on what he remembers of the first time he summoned the steed, and the first time he summoned the water boy. And for whatever reason, he just thinks of a quite furry, large dog that seems to live in the snow for some reason. He sees it playing. He can't remember very much, but it is so bizarrely clear despite being like soft around the edges of the memory. And he kind of is just tapping his fingers together in an odd rhythm and murmuring to himself in what almost looks like a meditative stance as he tries to summon his steed, assuming it will be the elk, but somehow focusing on this image of a dog.
You summon a mastiff stat block, I believe.
Yes.
Let's see if I have that.
Oh
Puppy!
my gosh, puppy!
Still got the
Cool.
unsettling
Glowy
glowing
puppy.
eyes.
Yep.
I think they're cute. Would hate to see that in the corner of the room, but I
Yeah.
think it's cute.
There's no
also
lights
a
in this
big dog.
place.
Yes.
Okay,
There are
so-
lights, actually. The whole fortress is dimly lit by magical light. Think like really low-grade fluorescent lighting. It's really
Oh,
like
lovely.
cold
Is it
and
flickering?
horrible. Not flickering, just low.
And it's like, how?
Just for aesthetic, just for mood, you know? Mood lighting. Anyway,
yeah. Well, I
got a
guess the way
dog.
that flames move against the wall kind of like
Yeah.
flickers, you know?
you got it.
Okay. So,
So-
my goal for the moment is I would like to command my newfound puppy to follow my scent through the cavern, the like holes of this place back to the main foyer, then find Emma if they can,
Oh.
if it can. And then after that, go outside
Okay.
towards Ant.
I'm gonna need you to roll a stealth check for your puppy, and then
Yeah.
a perception check at advantage because it has keen hearing and smell.
Yes, it does.
Nice.
Okay,
Let's go.
so
Let's go, boy.
Stealth puppy.
can I convince you to give me advantage on the dex check because it can hear when people are walking around?
No, this is more
Damn,
about
okay.
it being able to hide itself.
Okay, it is a big dog. Okay, that's fair.
With glowing
Right.
eyes.
Yeah, big glowing eyes, giant dog. Let's go. Everyone wish me luck.
Good luck.
Ah, 12.
12.
Not bad, not bad,
Okay.
not bad.
I'm gonna rank this against the skeleton's passive perception, because I assume your dog is being careful. Luckily, passive perception for most of these skeletons is a 9.
Ooh.
Yes, yes.
Let's
Okay,
go,
cool.
puppy. Let's go.
And now we have an advantage on perception.
Yes.
Oh, come on! 6.
6.
Damn.
I'm afraid following a trail in reverse is quite difficult.
Fair.
Especially because this place is so cold. The scent doesn't really stick. These are stone floors, like dry stone floors. It's difficult for your dog to get anywhere, and you feel like you can feel it mentally pinging that it is like getting turned around. It does not know its way through.
Oh, that's okay.
But it'll keep trying in the background.
Yep.
I think the young man that you met before appears now in front of you. Says, "Falcon term, was it?"
Good nods.
He squints suspiciously at Luca. Says,
Mhm.
"How'd you come to be prisoner of those pirates?"
I was working with a criminal in an attempt to board the ship. But I was unfortunately left stranded alone, and they took me prisoner.
For what purpose?
They had, from what I understand, unfinished business with one of the captains of the Wind Whisperers.
Your criminal contact, yes?
Yes,
And they're no longer aboard the ship. They left you.
they left me. There was a second ship, I believe.
I think at this point I'm going to ask you to make another deception check.
Yeah, fair.
You are telling no lies, but
You're really bending the truth.
Yes. Oh, 13.
Why were you working with this criminal?
They were ferrying me back to Karnath in exchange for my assistance.
Why would you go back to Karnath? It's full of traitors and heathens who've forsaken Lady Ilmarrow.
Luca gives him a kind of soft smile. I think you should know that there are those of us who are willing to remain somewhere comfortable as long as we keep ourselves quiet.
I know my orders for the Emerald Claw. What are yours?
I was awaiting new orders. My previous contact had left me stranded as well. It seems to be a running theme. A woman named Vaelia.
Cool. Now you're really going to have to roll a deception check.
Yes, that one.
Inside
oh my god.
check.
I feel it.
Let's go.
Oh, 18!
Hey!
I'm also going to roll a history check to see if he knows Vaelia.
Let's go, idiot. Hmm?
I do believe
There's a
he
modicum of
does.
intelligence. Oh, okay, cool.
Woo!
If she is with the Emerald Claw, then my father should be able to find a way to contact her. Perhaps we can get you back to your handler sooner than you thought.
Luca nods, appreciative. The dog pauses like, oh, fuck.
Luca, what if Aelia just showed up?
Did the dog just, like, monitor what Luca out loud is not able to react to? Did the dog just psychically receive your subconscious reaction of, oh shit, while Luca's like, little smiley face emoji? That's...
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Her.
What is Ed saying? What I don't understand. Oh, I have one prepared earlier. Yes!
It was my plan. I forgot. Oh my gosh.
Can I make a check to see if Luca can logic out that fact?
I mean, if you tell N what's going on, and N is periodically checking in.
Well, no, I'm trying to, like, can Luca say now that she's already on her way?
I don't know, Luca, can you?
Yeah, like, I'm trying to say, can Luca make that leap of logic? Is he smart enough?
I'm gonna say you can, but you will now need to roll a deception check at disadvantage because you have just contradicted yourself.
Yeah, that's what okay, no.
So you can just not say it.
Yeah, I cannot say it. I don't know if Luca will be making that leap of logic just yet. He might take a few beats. But
Call N and N's like, yeah. Oh.
Okay, no. Okay, so we're at
I don't need your permission to show up.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm assuming you have some kind of tag on me, you know? Like a chip you put in a dog, you know, to find out where it is.
Look, I'm formulating a plan here. It's not about that.
What are these bag tags called? The air tags?
Yeah,
whatever they are?
yeah, exactly. You've got an air
I lost
tag,
my
right,
luggage.
Amelia?
Yeah, they've got a GPB, Global Positioning Blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god,
That's what your reliquary is. We can do this, Luca.
Oh my god. I feel like all of the pieces are
get this
locking
to
into
work.
place. This is horrendous.
This is bad.
Galaxy braining.
It's
Anyway,
like the haha. Imagine if you had a bag tag. Wait, we already went through this. We have little jewelry
literally.
thingies with blood in them. Yeah.
We have set this up to be functional.
That's crazy. GPP. Take inspiration, Zeke. Can we give
You get
DM inspiration for
to use
GPP?
against us.
oh great.
No!
I think that's hilarious. If Zeke could come in like, by the way, nat 1 on your death save.
Please, I'm not that evil.
Or maybe you'll give us a nat 20 on a death save so we don't die.
You could say.
Not how inspiration works.
Listen. Okay, so he does know Vaelia and he has offered to potentially get in contact with her.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He is aware of an agent under that name
Yes.
operating in Lazar.
Which is where I picked up my pirate. Exactly. All come together. Nice and easy.
So,
It works.
do you inform N
For
of
now.
this?
Well, I'm not going to talk to you while he's in front of me.
Roll a deception for the way that Luca's eyes go cross-eyed when he's thinking towards N.
No,
And
not
call me,
cross-eyed.
and
They go
call me.
wall-eyed. Like,
No, sorry, I got that
Wide
wrong. I
apart.
made the gesture with my hands.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Wall-eyed? Yeah, like
Yeah.
a frog, yeah? Facing
well,
all
in the
the
doll
walls?
community, we
Yeah.
called it wall-eyed. I don't know if there's
Oh, no,
It is
Alright.
called wall-eyed in general.
Okay.
Yeah, that
okay.
one. That's how I imagine Luca accesses the N brain.
Yeah,
N,
that's-
message me. N,
That's his message face.
N.
My mistake. I thought he was
Persona
leaving.
Zoom.
Continue.
Yes, so the young man, who you've been heard
drink.
referred to as Wolfrun,
Yes.
so I will call him that, says, my apologies that our accommodations are somewhat lacking, but I'm sure as soon as my father is done with his duties for the day, he'll want to have a long conversation.
I can't wait to speak with him.
In the meantime, he makes a sort of runic sign in the air. Madam Agatha will see to your needs. And of course, you'll understand that we're keeping possession of your weapons until you've been vetted
Of
by the
course.
Castellan.
I do apologize for using my magic. I hope you can understand that the shipwreck was quite tolling. I needed to rejuvenate myself a touch.
Oh, by all means. Agatha should be able to see that you have more comfortable accommodations while you stay here.
Luca bows his head and thanks. Very deferent.
And Wolfrin leaves again.
N!
Luca.
Let's have your dog roll another stealth
Yes.
and perception check. Stealth flat, perception at advantage.
Stealth. Ooh,
Very
16.
nice.
that's better.
Nice.
And a perception? Oh, 7.
7.
Wow.
It's so lost. Puppy can't see shit.
Poor little guy! He's trying his best. He's improving. We went up 1. Getting
One
better.
point at a time. Yeah.
Oh.
He's a pup. He just emerged.
He was just
Yeah.
born.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
hasn't
5
even really.
seconds old.
Yeah,
I am but 2
I am
days
but
old.
2 days old.
he hasn't even really had a chance to like smell you properly. Like the last time he smelled you, he was a steed, which is like a full-on elk.
Different
Which is
nasal
like-
Yeah.
experience.
Exactly.
You know, it's just like
He's
the
seeing in
nose
different
is
colours
not
now.
the nose is not calibrated. You know.
Yeah. Nose.exe is
Steve's like-
still loading.
Wasn't I in the sky? Sorry, wasn't
Yeah.
I in the sky?
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, sorry. This is not the sky.
What happened?
Where's Willow?
Where is
Yeah,
Where
I'm
are
still
we?
thinking, where is Willow?
Wait, no. New instruction. Where is N? No, wait. New one. Where is Emma? Bigger question. What is Emma?
Is Emma.
Bigger
Where am
question. Where am I? Where are we? Where? Where?
Looks down at hooves.
Period.
Looks down at hooves. What are these?
The dogs are out.
Literally, the Adventure Time deer take.
No!
Zeke!
You can't keep referencing.
It takes the hooves off, but now instead of hands, they are paws.
This poor creature. Luca, you come on, boy. Go out there and look. For what? Go on. Meanwhile, I'm gonna dig myself in this freaking hole over here with like so many lies being woven together. Great. Good for you. I think that people that can lie should lie. Thank you guys. Go on.
Yes. Good luck.
We're doing
yes.
okay for now.
Yes. So I'm at. Anne checks in on Luca.
Yeah?
Yep, and it's periodically like Marcoing you.
I think they will hear Luca like mentally screaming and trying to get into contact with them.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Just like full bold takes up the entire page. Bubble
Yeah.
letters.
SpongeBob
good thing
style,
is that
but N.
But instead of the good thing for N is that it's all written instead of like screaming into your head.
Yeah. Gets N's attention.
Luca will relay that conversation
Okay.
and that he has an agent moving through the labyrinth.
And that agent is Vaelia.
The dog.
The dog, right, the dog.
Want Vaelia. We don't want Vaelia now. She'll make everything worse.
Are you sure about that, Luca? Because it sounds like if they go through with contacting, Vaelia, the jig is up.
Exactly. We don't want that to happen. So if she shows up, that's worse.
But what if... Now, hear me out. It's not her.
Oh,
Did I blast the visage of Elia directly out of your brain when I hit you back on Cobracon's ship?
oh,
Yeah, you sure do have contact with Vaelia.
I do. Smaller
So,
letters. I do.
when is he going to make this connection? How long do I have?
Luca, at this point, the maid shows up.
Now? Is that now?
Hot potato! Hot potato!
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
I think we. I think,
No, let me rephrase that. Sovereign's fuck.
I think, and you received the mental equivalent of BRB GTG.
Oh god, okay. And like slaps the book shut, stands up because they've been like kind of just sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, Gardenia, we have a situation. Man on the inside might be compromised any moment now, but we may have a solution to that, and that requires me to go outside. So, and it's like gearing up.
Yeah. Yeah, seems like a good time to do some reconnaissance.
All right, so this is where we part ways, or you follow me in a very invisible fashion. And then, like, drags their hands down their face and starts changing it into Vaelia's, drags their hands over their ears to point them, and then drags their fingers through their hair to blacken it.
I love how they change. It's so cool. Luca would love to see this, but he doesn't get to.
Alas!
Gardenia says, "Nice trick. Where the fuck do you think she came from? On what ship? Did you fall
She
out of the
can teleport.
sky?"
I've seen her do it.
Gardenia's like, Gardenia gives a thing of like, I don't think that's how teleporting works.
Teleporting works if you have at least a description of the location. Who can say if Aelia has ascending ability or not? They could be discussing with Luca about their location. Teleport here. Come pick him up.
Someone might know where this is. Who can teleport Vaelia? Sorry, I'm done this conversation. I'm just getting excited. This is working.
Yeah. And make a quick Arcana check for what you know about teleportation.
I've researched it a little bit.
Damn.
That's a
Clearly,
22.
you rolled a 22.
Okay, so, the most common form of teleportation is circle teleportation,
Yes.
which brings you to a fixed location, usually a teleportation circle. You can get from anywhere to a teleportation circle if you have a scroll with the relevant symbols, which I believe is what you last saw Vaelia have.
Yes. That's different from what I know of teleportation.
Yes, that's a much higher form of teleportation.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm. If you show up here, and there is a teleportation circle here, and you do not show up inside that teleportation circle, your lie may be caught out real fast.
If Gardenia has input and is open.
I trust N's lies more than I trust my own, honestly.
I'm welcome to input.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah. No, Gardenia, sorry.
Yeah, and it's directly
Sorry.
asking Gardenia. Like, I'm open to feedback.
If you want to do your appearing trick, then we should find out if there is a teleportation circle here and you can jump down into it. What do I know?
Great. Can you cast invisibility on me? Won't be the first time I've jumped down into a teleportation circle thanks to Vaelia, messing up my day.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna go sneak around and see what I can find.
Oh, 1 minute actually. And is gonna pull out their book and turn to the page. They have one slot, I believe.
Oh yeah, because we
Oh,
leveled up.
handy.
Yeah, and has left one slot open just for this occasion. Write your name here. It'll let me contact you the same way I've been contacting the others. Listen, I know this is probably a breach. Just trust me.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Gardenia signs her name.
Thank you. And doesn't look at it and just snaps the book shut.
Oh.
Oh. Spy for spy relations. We love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Gardenia murmurs an incantation and you are invisible.
Cool. All right. And will. Okay, first N wants to contact Luca and ask if the dog has found a teleportation circle.
I mean, could it stumble upon one in his efforts?
I mean, it could be so terribly lost that it finds it. You know.
Make another perception check.
At advantage, or
At advantage.
just in general?
On a nat 20, I'll let your dog stumble its way into.
Everyone blow on the dice.
Damn.
No! 13.
13. I'm
Sorry.
gonna say the 13 means that your dog has at least found the elevator.
Oh, good.
Elevator.
That's a
that
kind of
one.
teleportation circle.
It is. The dog's doing great, honestly.
Then make another stealth check also.
Yes. We also just
Yeah.
doubled his last check. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
Oh gosh.
Roll.
Uh-oh.
The
Reroll.
dog does not like the elevator, does not like when it goes moving on its own.
Attack the elevator.
Woof, woof.
Hey!
20.
Good job, Puppy. Puppy has found a nice hiding spot
Boy.
in the room with the elevator.
Yay!
Nice.
Cool. So, and you are invisible for 1 hour. I'm gonna post the invisibility spell into the chat.
Do I still have Pass Without Trace? I guess
The
Invisibility knocked it out.
yeah. Anyway, you and Gardenia will part ways, and she says to you, "I'll know when the invisibility drops. Good luck."
sounds good. You too. Break a leg.
And she lurks off into the shadows.
Alright.
Gardenia's out here doing dishonored shit along the cliffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love her.
And you, invisible and disguised as Vaelia, your Tome of Shadows in hand, enter into Fort Fathomless in search of Luca and the missing crew of the Storm Chaser. That's the end of the episode.